Hello and welcome back to Zen and Fanfics. Today we're starting an exciting new series. What if Deku became Doomslayer? If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe for more content. The story we're featuring is written by TipTop5 on Wattpad. You can find all the relevant links in the description, so be sure to check out the author's profile and say hello. Now, let's dive into the story. Doctor, I'm sorry MS Midoriya, but your son is quirkless. That sentence is what made Izuku's life a living hell. Inko, I see. Thank you for your time, doctor. She says as she grabs Izuku's hand and leaves the hospital. They both get in the car and drive home. As they're driving home, it's silent, and the only sound you can hear is Izuku quietly crying. Inko, I can't believe I gave BRTH to a quirkless boy. She thinks to herself as she tightens her grip on the steering wheel. Izuku, Imama, can I still be a hero? Inko, shut up. Izuku, what? Inko, I said shut up. Izuku, okay mom. Inko, don't call me mom. Izuku, what why? Inko, I don't want to be related to a useless kid. Izuku, mom stop it, you're being mean. Inko, I am not your mom. Izuku jumps a bit, scared by his mother's shouting. Izuku forces himself to stop crying and just sits there looking down. Time skip. It's been about 10-something years since he found out he was quirkless. Right now we see Izuku getting ready for school. He goes downstairs and sees Inko sitting in the living room, watching TV. Inko notices Izuku is watching as gets irritated. Inko, what are you staring at? Izuku, in nothing. Inko, whatever. When you get back from school, make yourself useful and clean up the place. Izuku, yes, mo, ma'am. Izuku says as he leaves, but before leaving, he hears Inko say something. Inko, I should have just aborted him when I had the chance. Izuku feels a sharp pain in his chest and some tears beginning to show at his eyes. Izuku, I'm sorry I wasn't born with a quirk, but it's not my fault. He then leaves the house in tears. After some running, we see Izuku in class. Teacher, all right, today you're going to be writing down what you want to be in these forms. The class groans except Bakugo and Izuku. Teacher, I'm just kidding. I know you all want to be heroes. He says as he throws the forms in the air. The class cheers as they use their quirks, except Izuku and Bakugo. Teacher, now let's see what hero schools you want to go to. He says as he begins to read their forms. He reads everyone except for Izuku and Bakugo's. Teacher, let's see who is next. He says as he goes to the next form. Teacher, Katsuki Bakugo, you want to go to UA? Bakugo, if I want to be the #1 hero, I need to be in the #1 hero school. Teacher, well, your grades are good and you have a powerful quirk. Perhaps you might make it. Bakugo, Dimin right, I'm going to be the strongest hero in the world. Unlike these extras. Random student. The F***K, did you say? Random student. Do you want to fight? Bakugo. Shut it before I blow your butt to Saturn. Teacher. Oh, Midoriya, you want to go to UA as well? The class is silent and Izuku puts his head down on the table. The class start to laugh at Izuku and Bakugo stomps his way over to Izuku's table. He blows Izuku's table up and sends Izuku into a wall. Bakugo. The F***K is going through your head if you think you could be a hero without a quirk. Hut Deku. Izuku. I don't know. I just thought I could be a hero with you, Kakin. Bakugo. Are you talking back to me? Izuku, what no. Bakugo grabs Izuku by the neck and lifts him in the air. Bakugo. You better not join UA or I'll blow you to dust. Do you hear me? He says as he lets out some small explosions in his other hand. Izuku nods his head as he is struggling to breath. Bakugo then throws Izuku, causing Izuku to fall on his desk. Izuku holds his back in pain and sits back down. Teacher, Bakugo, if you do that again, I'll send you to the principal's office, and it will ruin your chances for UA. Do you understand? Bakugo, TSK. He sits down in his desk. Teacher, now let's begin with our lesson for today. The teacher begins his class. Izuku doesn't pay much attention to class. He was tired and in pain, so he didn't care what was happening. Time skip. Class ends, and we see Izuku packing up. Izuku places his hero notebook in the bag but Bakugo grabs it. Izuku, gee, give that back. Bakugo, or what? Izuku, I own. Bakugo then blows up Izuku's journal and throws it out the window. Izuku reaches out for it, but Bakugo grabs his shoulder and throws him down to the floor. Bakugo, listen here, Deku. If I see you in UA, then I'll make your life a living hell. Izuku, as if it wasn't already. He whispers, but Bakugo hears it. Bakugo, the F***K did you say? Izuku, in nothing. Bakugo, I think you need to be taught a lesson, right guys? Bully #1, yeah. He says as he cracks his knuckles. Bully #2, definitely. He says as he uses his quirk. Izuku, in no please. But his begging was ignored. They beat him down without mercy. After they ruthlessly beat him down, Izuku is on the floor bleeding from his head. Still conscious, Bakugo tells Izuku something. Bakugo, if you really want a quirk, then let me give you some advice. Izuku weakly lifts his head towards Bakugo. Bakugo, why don't you take a swan dive of the roof, and maybe you'll get a quirk in your next life. And that sentence is what made something snap in Izuku. He didn't feel anything anymore. No pain, no sadness, nothing. And before Bakugo left, he stomped on Izuku's arm, fracturing it. But Izuku wasn't affected by it. He just looked at it. His arm was swelling up, and he could see the bone. Bakugo leaves with his goons, and Isuku is still on the floor. Izuku, why doesn't it hurt anymore? He thinks to himself as he weakly stands up. Izuku leaves the classroom without even grabbing his bag. As he left the school, he saw his notebook in the water being eaten by some fish. Izuku, you guys can have it. It's not like I need it anymore. He says to the fish as he leaves. He is walking through the street with no destination, just walking around, thinking, Izuku, I won't go back home. It's not like Mom would miss me anyways. As he continues to walk, he begins to go under a small bridge. Izuku, maybe Bakugo was right. Maybe in my next life, I'll get a quirk. As he says this, sludge comes out of a sewer pothole. Sludge villain. CRP, I gotta hide before he finds me. The sludge villain sees Izuku walking. Sludge villain. He'll make a pretty good bodysuit. Izuku, Izuku turns around to see the sludge villain slither over to him. Sludge villain. Sorry, kid, but I need your body to hide. Izuku. Okay. Sludge villain. What? Izuku. I said okay. At least I'll be useful this way. The sludge villain was taken back by what Izuku said. Sludge villain. Kid, are you okay? Sludge villain. What am I doing? He'll be here soon. Izuku. I just opened my eyes to reality. I don't want to be here anymore, so do whatever you want with me. Even though the sludge villain wanted to hide, he felt bad for Izuku. Sludge villain sigh listen kid. Do you want to come with me? Izuku. I don't care what happens. The sludge villain then picks Izuku up and slithers away. After they got away, a muscular man jumps out of the pothole the sludge villain came through. All Might. Where did that villain run off to? All Might looked around, but eventually gave up. Meanwhile, Izuku was on top of a rooftop with the sludge villain. Sludge villain. So you were born quirkless, huh? Izuku, yeah. Sludge villain. Well, I guess we have something in common. Izuku. You have a quirk, I don't. Sludge villain. They shunned you out while they called me a villain for my quirk. Izuku. Sludge villain. Listen, I know it's hard, but don't listen to them. They don't know the hardships of being like us. Izuku, maybe. Sludge villain. Just remember, if you're ever alone, just know that I'm here for you. Izuku. You know, it's kind of funny that a villain is helping me. Sludge villain chuckles yeah. I guess it is pretty funny. Izuku. Thank you. Sludge villain. For what? Izuku. For being here for me. Sludge villain. Heh, anytime kid. He says as they both just sit there, watching the sunset. Sludge villain. Well, I should get going. The heroes will find me if I stay here. Izuku, wait. Sludge villain. Huh? Izuku. Will I ever see you again? Sludge villain. Who knows? Maybe we will see each other again. Izuku, all right then. Sludge villain. Take care, kid. And the villain leaves Izuku. Izuku. What do I do now? I don't want to go back home, but I have nowhere else to go. As he thinks of this, A red portal opens behind Izuku. Izuku turns around and stares at the portal. As he does, someone comes out of the portal with a demon's head in their hand and a shotgun in the other. Vega, this is the wrong place. Vega, I'm sorry, Doomslayer. There seems to be a malfunction in my systems. Doom Guy, can you fix it? Vega, yes, just give me some time. Doom Guy, he sits down on the floor. As he sits down, he grunts in pain as he holds his side. Vega, Doomslayer, your vitals are weak. Perhaps it's time you settle down. Doom Guy, no, I will never rest until all demons are destroyed. Vega, maybe you can find someone to do this for you. Doom Guy, no. Vega, then how about you get someone to help you in fighting Theseus demons? Doom Guy, Vega, Doomslayer, you're getting older. The older you get, the harder it will be for you to fight against them. You may be strong now, but in the future you will need help. I recommend you find someone soon. Doom Guy, Isuku is watching Doom Guy sitting on the floor. Izuku, excuse me. As soon as he says that, Doom Guy aims a shotgun at Izuku. Izuku holds his hands on the air while Doom Guy stares at him. Doom Guy, who are you? He says with an intimidating voice. Izuku, I'm Izuku, just Izuku. Doom Guy, no last name. Izuku, let's just say I don't like my last name. Doom Guy, what do you want anyway? Izuku, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation, and I want to help. Doom Guy, you want to help? Izuku, why yes. Doom Guy, sorry kid, but you're too young. Izuku, I don't care if I'm too young. I want to be useful for once, so please let me help. Doom Guy thinks for a bit and remembers what Vega told him. Vega, you're getting old, Doomslayer, and eventually you're going to need help. I recommend you find someone soon. Doom Guy ***. Fine, but that means your training is going to be tough and dangerous. This means it could kill you. Are you sure you want to join me? Izuku, yes. For once I want to be able to do something useful. Vega, Doomslayer, the portal is ready for use. Doom Guy, okay Vega. Doom Guy stands up and walks to the portal. Doom Guy, come on, we have some work to do. Izuku nods and follows the Doomslayer into the portal. And thus begins the making of the strongest person in the world in Hill. Isuku, the Doomslayer. Isuku has been trained by the Doomslayer for months nonstop. The training was deadly, but Isuku didn't care, and since then he has been helping Doom Guy rip and tear through demons. He does this for months with Doom Guy, and they both began to see each other as family. Doom Guy saw Isuku as his own son, while Isuku thought of Doom Guy as the dad he never had. And they both continued to rip and tear through demons together. That is until... Isuku, what? Doom Guy, I got word from Vega, and they want to send you down to Earth. Isuku, okay, but why? Doom Guy, apparently Vega found some demons that went into hiding on Earth. Isuku, I see. Doom Guy, this will be your first mission without me. You may be strong, but you should still be careful. Isuku, don't worry, father, I won't fail you. Doom Guy, I know you won't, he says as he puts his hand on Izuku's shoulder. Doom Guy, rip and tear Izuku. Izuku, rip and tear father, he says as he hugs him. Doom Guy hugs back Izuku and pats his back. Vega, Doomslayers, the portal is ready for use. Doom Guy, right, that reminds me. Izuku, Doom Guy, Vega will be with you on Earth, so if you have any questions, then talk to Vega. Izuku, yes, father. The portal opens and Izuku is about to step in it, until Doom Guy grabs his shoulder. Doom Guy, before you leave, I want to tell you something. Izuku, what is it? Doom Guy faces Izuku towards him, holding both of his shoulders. Doom Guy, I know how you feel towards those who have quirks, but... Izuku looks down to the ground, but continues to listen. Doom Guy, you must remember, not everyone is like you think. Doom Guy, there are people who really do care, so just remember, don't kill all of the heroes, just the fakers. Izuku, yes, father. Izuku says as he gives him one last hug before walking through the portal. Vega closes the portal and Doom Guy sits on the couch in their ship. Vega, Doomslayer, when are you going to tell Izuku about your condition? Doom Guy, I don't know, but soon I will. Vega, I see. Meanwhile, before I forget in this timeline, this is before Isuku found Eri. Right now, we see two pro heroes walking down the street on a patrol. I'm so bored. We haven't ran into a single villain, and it's so boring. Calm down, Mariko. This is a good thing. Mariko, how is this a good thing, Ryuku? Ryuku. Well, that means there has been a decrease in cum activity, meaning that the civilians are safer now. Mariko, but don't you think it's weird? Ryuku, what do you mean? Mariko, ever since All Might's retirement, you'd think the villains would come out more, but there hasn't been a single one. Ryuku, now that you mention it, it is a bit odd. Mariko, how long until our patrol is over? Ryuku, about an hour left. Mariko, ugh, want to get some coffee? Ryuku, sure. As they both begin to head towards the nearest coffee store, they hear a scream in an alleyway. Ryuku, did you hear that? Mariko, yep. Let's go, she says as she runs to the alleyway. Ryuku follows behind her, and as they both get to the alleyway, they see a man in some sort of armor, holding a little girl with one of his arms, while the other is holding a double-barreled shotgun. The man is aiming the shotgun at a man on the floor. The man on the floor is wearing a bird mask and is missing both of his hands. Overhaul. Stay away from me. He screams at the man. The man is about to shoot him until he hears a shout from Mariko. Mariko, hold it right there, villain. The man ignores the bunny hero and puts his arm down. The man begins to walk towards Overhaul and kicks him in the head, knocking him out. Mariko, that's it. I'm gonna kick your butt, she says as she jumps at the man with a kick to his head. But the man isn't fazed and grabs her leg. Mariko, hey, let me go. He then throws her in a dumpster and it closes on her. Mariko, oh God, it stinks in here. Ryuku, hold on, Mariko. She then runs to the dumpster and tries to get Mariko out. Mariko, forget about me. Get the guy. Ryuku, okay. She turns around to face the man. She sees the man wearing some sort of armor and is holding a little girl with a small horn on her head. The girl seems to be asleep and the man puts his shotgun away. Ryuku, I don't know who you are, but what you did is wrong and I'm going to stop you. She then dashes at him and throws a punch at him. He dodges, it trips her. She falls on the floor but recovers. Ryuku, CRP, if I transform then I'll damage the buildings and risk the lives of the civilians. What do I do? She then sees the man walk towards her. She is frozen in fear. She doesn't know what to do. Ryuku, the only best option is to hold out until Mariko gets out. She dashes at him again and throws another punch. The man catches her fist and she tries to break free. Ryuku, let me go. She tries pulling away, but it doesn't do anything. Ryuku, I can't break free. She closes her eyes ready for an attack, but nothing happens. The man pushes her down to the floor and a portal opens behind him. Ryuku, what? The man goes through the portal before giving Ryuku one last look before leaving. The portal closes and Ryuku is left on the floor, shocked by what had happened. Ryuku, he didn't kill me. Why? She gets up and helps Mariko out of the dumpster. Mariko, did you get him? Ryuku, and no, he got away. Mariko, DMNIT. She screams as she kicks a Coke can. Ryuku sits on the floor with her back against the wall. Mariko sighs in frustration and sits down next to Ryuku. Mariko, you okay? Ryuku, I think so. Mariko, well, I think we should take him to a hospital, she says as she points at Overhaul, knocked out on the floor. Ryuku, yeah, let's go, she says as she stands up with Mariko and picks up Overhaul. Mariko grabs his legs while Ryuku grabs his arms. They then leave the scene with a knocked-out Overhaul. Meanwhile, we see Isuku, who leaves the portal with a small girl in his arms. Isuku is standing in a living room and lays the little girl on the couch. He takes off his helmet and sits on a chair. Isuku, what should I do with you? He says to himself. He sits there for a bit and after a while stands up and leaves to his room. He enters his room and walks to his closet. He opens it and moves the clothes, revealing a small screen with a handprint. He takes off his gauntlet and presses his hand against the screen. Access accepted. The closet wall opens and slides to the side, revealing a secret room. He goes inside and the lights turn on, revealing an arsenal of weapons and an empty area that has an outline of his armor. He takes his armor off and places it on the wall. He leaves the secret room and closes the room. He leaves the closet and closes it. He sits on his bed and puts his hands on his face. Isuku, that girl has been through so much. Flashback. Izuku is walking through the streets with his armor on. He is getting a bunch of weird stares and is getting annoyed. He looks towards them and it scares them. They then stop watching Izuku and go back to their business. As he is walking, he feels someone bump into his leg. He looks down and sees a small girl with white long hair and a small horn on her forehead. He crouches down and helps her up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You shouldn't run off like that, Eri. Eri freezes in fear and looks down. Overhaul. I'm sorry about her. She is so clumsy around people. Izuku. Overhaul. Not much of a talker, I see. Well, just take her now if you don't mind, he says as he walks towards them. Eri then grips on Izuku's armor and Izuku looks down. He sees she is in fear and can see a few tears coming out of her eyes. Izuku. Those bandages. Eri, please don't let him take me, she whispered to Izuku in fear. Izuku. Izuku can feel Eri shaking and can feel her gripping hard onto his armor. Overhaul reaches for Eri, and as he is about to grab her, Izuku grabs his arm. Overhaul, don't touch me, he shouts as he pulls his arm away from Izuku. Overhaul begins to scratch his arm. Overhaul, I try to be nice formal about this, but you shouldn't have done that. Overhaul takes his glove off and is about to presses it on the floor. Overhaul, Yari, get over her now, or else someone else dies because of you. Eri gasps and lets go of Izuku. She is about to run to Overhaul until Izuku stops her. Eri, please, let me go, he'll kill you, she whispers to Izuku. Izuku doesn't care and picks her up in his arms. Izuku, it's okay. I'll protect you, he whispers to her. She looked up to Izuku as she hears his voice. His voice was kind of deep, yet it sounded soothing to her ears. Izuku, just close your eyes. I'll keep you safe, he whispers to her. She closes her eyes and lays her head on his arm. Overhaul, Gore. He presses his hand on the ground, and concrete spikes are flying at Izuku. Izuku trusts his back to Overhaul and covers Eri. The concrete breaks in contact with his armor and begins to walk towards Overhaul backwards. Overhaul, what? Overhaul begins to send more spikes at Izuku, but they have no effect. Izuku gets closer and closer to Overhaul. Overhaul then stops sending spikes and runs off into the alleyway. Izuku turns around and runs after him. Izuku is in the alleyway and stops. He looks around him, and as he is looking away. Overhaul jumps at Izuku and reaches out for him. Overhaul, this will kill you for Sue Dash. He is cut off as a blade comes out of Izuku's gauntlet, and he swings it at Overhaul, cutting his hand off. Overhaul screams in pain as he falls to his knee. Izuku retracts to blade on, pulls out his double-barrel shotgun. Overhaul, DMNIT, I won't lose to you. Overhaul reaches out for Izuku again, but his hand is blown off by Izuku's shotgun. Overhaul screams in pain and falls to the floor. Izuku then aims his shotgun at Overhaul. Overhaul, stay away from me. Izuku is about to shoot Overhaul until Mariko, hold it right there, villain. End of flashback. Izuku. I think her name was Mariko? What the hell did she call me a villain for? He then remembers he was aiming his shotgun at a man bleeding out with no hands on the floor. Izuku. Oh right. Izuku gets up and takes the blanket off his bed. He then leaves his room and head toward the living room. Izuku. But what was the other woman's name? She seemed interesting. He then goes to the couch and covers Eri in the blanket. Izuku. I could tell she was scared, but she still continued to fight. And that Mariko woman, she didn't care about herself when that woman tried to help her. Maybe those two are different. He thinks to himself as he stands up and begins to leave, but Eri grabs his hand, stopping him in his track. Eri, please don't leave me. She is still asleep, but seems to be having a nightmare. Izuku. Izuku picks Eri up and lays down on the couch. He lays Eri on his chest and covers themselves in the blanket. Eri then calms down and snuggles her head on Izuku's chest. Izuku places his arm over Eri, and she smiles in her sleep. Izuku. This feels nice. He then begins to fall asleep with her in his arms and falls asleep. We start the chapter off by watching Izuku and Eri sleep. Eri slowly begins to walk up, and once she does, she looks around and notices she is in the living room. She looks down and sees she is sleeping on Izuku. She then begins to shake him on his chest, trying to wake him up. Eri, wake up, please. She starts to tear up. She thinks he is dead and starts to cry. Her tears fall on Izuku's face, waking him up. He looks up and sees that Eri is crying as she is shaking him. Izuku, Eri notices Izuku as he is starting at her, and she calms down. Eri, you're okay. She shouts as she hugs him. Izuku is shocked by the hug. He never felt such warmth before. He felt it's something he hasn't felt in a long time. He felt happy. Izuku put his arm over Eri and hugs her back. As he hugged her back, Eri felt something as well. She'd forgotten this feeling for a long time. She felt something warm in her heart. Izuku's hug reminded her of what it felt like to be loved. She felt happy that she was with someone who cared for her. She smiled with tears of joy. Eri, Papa. Izuku was at a shock of words. Izuku. Did she call me Papa? Izuku looks down towards Eri. Izuku. Did you call me Papa? Eri realizes what she called him and looks up to Izuku. Eri, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Please don't hurt me. Izuku, why would I hurt you? Eri, they would always hurt me. I don't know why, but they always laughed when they did. Izuku, those BSTRDS, they hurt her for entertainment. I'll find them and make their deaths slow and painful, like they deserve. Izuku, I will never hurt you, Eri. Eri, do your promise. Izuku lifts his hand and sticks out his pinky. Izuku, pinky promise. Eri, pinky promise. Izuku takes his other hand out and wraps both of his pinkies together. Eri, like this. She says as she sticks her pinky out and wraps it around Izuku's. Izuku nods. Eri, what does it mean? Izuku, it's a promise stronger than any other. Eri, oh, I like the pinky promise. She says with a smile. The sight of Eri's smile gives Izuku a small smile. He then hears Eri's stomach rumble. Izuku, are you hungry? Eri nods in embarrassment as she holds her stomach with her head down. Eri gets off of Izuku, and he stands up. Eri gets up with Izuku, and they both go to the kitchen. Izuku, I can't cook. I hope she is fine with cereal. It should learn how to though. Izuku picks Eri up and sits her down on a chair. He then gets a bowl, milk, and sea cinnamon toast crunch. My favorite cereal. He pours the cereal first and the milk last and gives it to Eri. Izuku, sorry, I don't know how to cook. Eri, it's okay. She takes a bit out of it and enjoys the cereal. Izuku grabs a cup and pours milk into it. He drinks it as he watches Eri eating. Izuku, is it good? Eri, she says with her mouth closed and begins to eat it fast. Izuku, slow down. I don't want you to choke. Eri, sorry, Papa. She says with her mouth full of cereal. Izuku, it's okay, Eri. I just don't want you to get hurt. Eri finishes her bowl and Izuku takes it to the sink. Izuku, Eri, why yes? Izuku, do you know where your parents are? Eri, they aren't here anymore. Izuku, what do you mean? As he says this, he notices Eri is about to cry. Izuku, it's okay. You don't have to tell me. Eri, I'm sorry. Izuku crouches down to her and hugs her. Izuku, it's okay. He says, petting her head. Eri snuggles her head in Izuku's shoulder and he picks her up. Izuku, I should give her a bath. Izuku, Eri, is it okay if I give you a bath? Eri nods her head and Izuku puts her down on the couch. Izuku, I'll be right back, he says as he goes to the bathroom. Eri looks around and notices something on the floor. She gets off the couch and walks over to it. She picks it up and inspects it. It's a framed picture showing Izuku and a tall, muscular man together. Izuku comes back and sees Eri holding a picture frame. Izuku, what do you have there? Eri turns around and sees Izuku. Eri, who is this? She says as she shows him the picture. Izuku, oh, that's someone who is special to me. Eri, special? Izuku, he's like a father to me. Eri, oh, then that means you're special to me too. Izuku, what do you mean? Eri, you make me feel safe and happy, so I think of you as my papa. Izuku is shocked, but doesn't show it. Izuku, I guess you're right. I am your papa. Eri, yay, she says as she hugs him. Izuku slightly smiles and picks her up. He then takes the photo from Eri and places it on the counter. Izuku, let's get you in the bath, he says as he takes Eri to the bathroom. Time skip. Izuku leaves the bathroom with Eri wrapped in a towel. Izuku take her to his room and sits her down on the bed. Izuku, I'm not sure I have anything for her that fits. He goes through his closet and decides to give her his shirt for now. Izuku, this will have to do. He puts the shirt on her and she stands up. Izuku, sorry, I don't have anything that's the right size for you. Eri, it's okay, Papa's shirt feels comfy, she says as she hugs herself. She is wearing an oversized black shirt. Izuku, I'll need to buy her some clothes, but I can't leave her here by herself here. He thinks as he picks Eri up and goes to the living room. He sits her on the couch and turns the TV on, showing SpongeBob. Eri is immediately interested and starts to watch it. As she is distracted, Izuku goes back into his room and grabs a device. He pushes the button on it, and a screen appears above it. Izuku, Dad? Doom Guy, what is it? Izuku, during my time here, I found a little girl. She was held captured by a villain. Doom Guy, did you kill him? Izuku, no. 2 pro heroes arrived, but I took both of his hands. Doom Guy, good job, you scarred him. Izuku, anyways, I took the girl with me, and I decided to take care of her. Doom Guy, interesting, continue. Izuku, I don't have the things I need to take care of her, so I need to go shopping, but I can't leave her here alone. Doom Guy, so you wanted to watch over her until you get back. Izuku, yeah. Doom Guy, okay, I'll be right over. Izuku, thank you, Dad. Doom Guy, anytime, I'll be down there soon. Izuku, all right. And the screen turns off. Izuku, all right, I just have to wait for him to get here. For now, I'll just watch cartoons with Eri, he says as he goes to the living room and sees Eri singing the SpongeBob theme song. I mean, who wouldn't, right? He sits down next to her, and they both watch SpongeBob together. Time skip. We see them watching cartoons together, and Izuku hears a knock on the door. Izuku, I'll be right back, Eri. Eri, okay, Papa. Izuku gets off the couch and goes to the front door. He opens it and sees his father figure standing there. Izuku, hey, Dad, he says as he hugs him. Doom Guy, hey, how have you been? He says, hugging Izuku back. Izuku, I have been fine, he says as he lets him in. As they both go into the living room, Eri notices Izuku's dad with him. Izuku, this is Eri. Doom Guy walks up to her and crouches in front of her. Doom Guy, hi there, Eri. Eri, hello, she says as she is nervous. Doom Guy, it's okay, I won't hurt you. Eri, wait, you're the one who was with Papa in that photo, she says, pointing at the picture on the counter. Doom Guy, Papa. Izuku, she sees me as her dad. He whispers to Doom Guy. Doom Guy, oh, all right. Eri, are you my grandpa? Doom Guy, I guess I am. Eri, yay, she says as she hugs Doom Guy. Doom Guy hugs her back and pets her head. Izuku, Eri, my dad is gonna watch over you while I go shop for clothes. Eri, will you come back? Izuku, of course I won't be long. Eri, okay, Papa, she says as she runs over to Izuku and hugs him. Izuku hugs her back and breaks the hug. Izuku, I'll be back as soon as possible, he says as he gets up and leaves through the front door. Doom Guy, so Eri, what do you want to do while we wait for him to come back? Eri, SpongeBob, she shouts as she runs to the couch and switches the channel, showing SpongeBob. Doom Guy, wow, she really likes SpongeBob, he thinks to himself as he sits down next to Eri and watch SpongeBob together. Meanwhile, we see Izuku in a clothing store. He is buying clothes for Eri and has everything. He goes to the cashier to pay for the clothes. Cashier, did you find everything you need? As she looks up to Izuku, she is intimidated by his height and muscular body. Izuku stares down to them and nods his head. Cashier, okay, Jay, just let me scan your items. The cashier scans the clothes. Cashier, that'll be $48.34 as sir. Izuku, He takes his wallet out of his pocket and pulls out the needed money. Cashier, have a good day, sir. Izuku nods his head and leaves with the clothes. The cashier sighs in relief. Cashier, he was so intimidating. We go back to Izuku as we see him walking back. As he is walking, he passes by an alleyway and sees a man holding a girl down. Criminal, just hold still. Girl, no, get off of me, you perv. Criminal, shut the hell up, he says as he raises his fist. The girl covers her face and braces for the hit. But instead of getting hit, she felt the criminal get off of her. She looked up and saw Izuku holding the criminal up by his shirt. Izuku is holding him up with one arm, while he is holding a bag full of Eri's clothes. Criminal, let me go, they says as they punch Izuku in the face. Izuku isn't fazed by it and holds the criminal by the neck. Izuku then chokeslams the criminal in the ground, breaking it a bit. The criminal has the wind knocked out of him and struggles to stand up. Izuku walks up to him and kicks his head, knocking him out. The girl sits on the ground watching what happened. Izuku walks over to the girl and lifts his hand. The girl closes her eyes and braces for impact. Izuku, are you okay? The girl is confused and looks up. She sees Izuku holding his hand out to her. She is hesitant at first, but takes his hand and he helps her up. Girl, thank you. Izuku, MHM. Girl, W, what's your name? Izuku. Jiru. I am Kiyoka Jiru. Nice to meet you. Izuku, MHM. Jiru. Why you don't seem to talk much, huh? Izuku nods his head in agreement. Jiru. Well, we should get that guy to the cops. Izuku, MHM. He then walks over to the criminal and picks him up, putting him over his shoulder. Izuku and Jiru proceed to the police station and turn in the criminal. They leave the police station and are walking side by side. Jiru, so if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Izuku looks towards Jiru with a confused look. Jiru, oh, I just want to know. Izuku, 16. Jiru, W what? Izuku looks towards Jiru with his eyes slight widened. Jiru, sorry, I'm just shocked that you're so tall and muscular. And she trails off as she inspects Izuku. Jiru, handsome. Izuku slightly blushes and Jiru realizes what she said. Jiru, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I mean I did, but She tries to think of an excuse, but covers her face with her hands, blushing. Izuku, it's okay, he says as he is flustered by her compliment. They both stand there blushing. Jiru, hey, is it okay if I get your number? She says looking down. Izuku, MHM, is all he could say as he is too flustered to say any words. They both exchange phone numbers, and after they do, they begin to say their goodbyes. Jiru, well, I'll see you around then. Izuku, MHM, Jiru, bye. Izuku waves goodbye and turns around to walk away. Jiru watches Izuku walk away, but instead of leaving, she runs towards him. Izuku hears footsteps getting closer behind him. He turns around and is kissed on the cheek by Jiru. Jiru, bye, she shouts as she runs off blushing. Izuku stands there processing what had happened. He then realizes what had happened and blushes hard, looking down. Izuku, wow, I got kissed by a girl. He turns around and walks back to his home, holding his cheek while blushing. Izuku has a small smile with a little bit of a blush as well. Time skip. Izuku has just arrived home, and as he opens the door, he sees Eri and Doomguy singing SpongeBob's theme song. Izuku just stands there kind of surprised that Doomguy is singing with her. After they finished singing, Izuku make himself noticed. Eri and Doomguy turn around to see Izuku standing there. Eri, pop your back, she says as she jumps off the couch and hugs Izuku's legs. Izuku, MHM, he says as she lets her head. Doomguy, how much did you see? Izuku, I saw it all. Doomguy, well, can you blame me? The song is really catchy. Izuku, MHM, he says as he puts the bag of clothes on the table. Doomguy, well, I should get going. I got other things to do anyways. Eri, will you be back? Doomguy, of course I will. I will visit you both from time to time. Eri, okay, bye, Grandpa, she says as she gives Doomguy a hug. Izuku, I'll see you later, Dad. Doomguy, take care. And as Doomguy leaves, he has a thought. Doomguy, it's been so long since I have felt close to someone other than Izuku. How does she do it? How can she make anyone so happy with just a smile? And he leaves through the front door. Izuku, okay, Eri, I got you some clothes for you to wear. he says as he pulls out some of the clothes from the bag. Eri, oh wow, they look so comfortable. Izuku, well, let's get you changed, he says as him and Eri walk into his room. Small time skip. Eri has finished changing and is tired. She is wearing a blanket sleeper that looks like a white bunny. If you don't know what a blanket sleeper is, it's basically a full-body pajama. Eri, Papa, I'm tired. Izuku, I am too, let's go to bed, he says as he picks her up and lays her down on his bed. She scoots over and Izuku lays down in bed with her. Eri, Papa. Izuku, yes, Eri. Eri, will you leave me? Izuku, leave you? Why would I leave you? Eri, it's because my quirk is a curse. Izuku, what do you mean? Eri, my quirk lets me rewind whatever I am touching, but I can't control it and I can make someone disappear. Izuku, listen, Eri, he says as he hugs her. Izuku, quirks are what make you special from others, and your quirk is a blessing, just like you were a blessing in my life. Eri looks up to Izuku. Izuku, so don't listen to them, because I think your quirk is amazing. Eri is shocked by Izuku's kind words and starts to cry. Izuku, Eri, what wrong? Eri hugs Izuku with all her strength, surprising Izuku a bit. Eri cries in his chest, and Izuku holds her as he pets her head. Izuku, did I say something wrong? Eri, no, Papa. Izuku, then what's wrong? Eri, I feel so happy, she shouts as she looks up to Izuku in tears as she has a smile. Izuku sighs in relief and lays down with her in his arms. After Eri cries for a bit, she calms down and is even more tired. Eri, Papa. Izuku, Eri, I love you, Papa, she says as she dozes off to sleep. Izuku smiles a bit and caresses her hair. Izuku, I love you too, Eri, and they both fall asleep. Meanwhile, we see the pro-heroes in a meeting. Sir Night-Eye, now I know you're wondering why I have gathered you all here today. Endeavor, yes, why have you brought us here? The other heroes also question why they're here, except Mariko and Ryuku. Sir Night-Eye, well, these two had an encounter with Kai Chisaki. Fatgum, whoa, really? Kami, what happened? Did you catch him? Sir Night-Eye, they did, but they found him on the floor with no hands. The heroes are shocked by what they heard. Sir Night-Eye, and they know what happened. Endeavor, well, what are they waiting for? Tell us what happened. Mariko, DMN, chill Endeavor. Ryuku, when we were on our patrols, we heard screaming come from an alleyway, so we ran towards it. Mariko, when we got there, we found Chisaki on the floor bleeding out with no hands, and someone was standing over him. Ryuku, he has a shotgun aiming at Chisaki while he was holding Eri. Mariko, I immediately jumped at him and kicked him in the head, but it did nothing. Ryuku, he grabbed her leg and threw her in a dumpster, leaving me to fight alone. Mariko, I don't know what happened cause I was stuck in a dumpster. Ryuku, I'm going to get to the point and say he got away with Eri. Endeavor, why didn't you go in your dragon form? Ryuku, if I did, the people in the building would be in danger. Sir Night-Eye, that was smart of you, Ryuku. Ryuku, thank you. Anyways, we didn't get to see what he looked like, but we know he wears some sort of armor. He's tall and pretty strong. Fatgum, that's not a lot to go with. Sir Night-Eye, at least we know what to look for. I want you all to find this man. Once we do, we can find Eri and take her to safety. Fatgum, well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. The heroes agree, and Sir Night-Eye dismisses the meeting. Mariko, what do you think about this, Ryuku? Ryuku, I'm not sure, really. He didn't try to kill me, nut. We don't know what he wants with Eri. Mariko, maybe he just took her for her safety? I mean, I didn't look like he hurt her, and you could tell he was holding her carefully. Ryuku, yeah, and I noticed that when you kicked him, he covered Eri to protect her. Mariko, well, we'll find out when we catch him. Ryuku, yes, but he is very strong. He was able to take your kick. Mirko, you're right about that, but I'm sure we'll figure out how to catch him. Ryuku, yeah, well, I'll see you later, Mariko. Mariko, you too, Ryuku. And they both go their separate ways. We start the chapter off by Jiru practicing on her guitar. As she is tuning her guitar, she remembers she got Izuku's number. Jiru, maybe I should give him a call, she says as she puts her guitar away. She picks her phone up from the bed and is about to call Isuku. Jiru, wait, should I call him or text him? He could still be asleep, so maybe I should text him, but if I do, then I might miss the message. Jiraiya thinks for a bit and decides to call him. She calls Isuku and waits for a bit. Meanwhile, Isuku is in the kitchen as he has a cookbook and a pink apron on. Eri is in the living room watching cartoons as she is drinking her choco milk. As Isuku is trying to make pancakes, his phone starts to ring in the living room. Isuku, Eri, could you pass me my phone? Eri, coming, Papa, she says as she puts her choco milk on the living room table. She grabs his phone that was on the couch and runs over to Isuku with it. Eri, here, Papa. Isuku, thank you, he says as she gives him his phone. As she runs back to the couch and continues to drink her choco milk, Isuku answers the phone. Isuku, hello. Jiraiya, good morning, Isuku. Isuku, oh, good morning, Kiyoka. Jiraiya, so, I wanted to know if you were doing anything today. Isuku, well, I am taking care of Eri. Jiraiya, who's Eri? Isuku, she is my adoptive daughter. Jiraiya, you adopted a little girl? Isuku, she had nowhere else to go, so why not? Jiraiya, I think it's sweet of you. Isuku, oh, well, that's nice to know. Jiraiya, anyways, can I come over? I would love to meet her. Isuku, sure, I'll come pick you up. Jiraiya, that sound great. I live at hashtag. Isuku, okay, I'll see you soon. Jiraiya, you too, Izu. Isuku, Izu. Jiraiya, sorry, it's just a nickname I thought of. Isuku, it's okay, I like it. Jiraiya, see, cool. I'll talk to you later, Izu. Isuku, yeah, see you later, Kiyoka. And a hang up. Isuku is blushing as he likes his nickname that was given by Jiraiya, but then he smells something burning. Isuku, the pancakes, and he rushes over to the oven. Eri laughs at the sight of her papa running around with a pan that's on fire in a pink apron. Meanwhile, Jiraiya has just ended the call and puts her phone down while she is blushing. Jiraiya, he called me by my first name, she says as she covers her face with her hands and lays back on the bed. Her earphone jacks start to play with themselves, and she uncovers her face. Jiraiya, I should go take a shower, she says as she gets up and walks to her bathroom. Meanwhile, after Izuku's little incident, he decides to try again tomorrow. Right now, Isuku and Eri are walking over to Jiraiya's house. He is holding Eri's hand while they are walking down the road. Eri, where are we going, Papa? Isuku, we're just going to visit a friend of mine. Eri, oh, okay, Papa. They continue to walk a little more, and as they hear commotion nearby. Eri, Papa, what was that? Isuku, I don't know, but maybe we should ignore it. Eri, but Papa, what if someone is hurt? Isuku, then it's not our problem. Eri, but we have to help. Isuku, we can't. Maybe I could, but if I do, you might get hurt. Eri, please, Papa. If we can do something, then we have to help. Isuku looks towards the direction of the commotion and starts to think. Eri, please, Papa. Okay, I wanted to try something so in this story. There will be choices I give you all. This will change how the story will go, and there will be consequences by the path you all choose for Isuku. So what will Isuku do? Will he go to the commotion with Eri? Or will he ignore what's happening and continue to Jiraiya's house? Isuku *, fine, but stay behind me. Eri, yes, Papa. And they both run over to the commotion. Once they get there, they see a man waving his gun around while holding someone hostage. Criminal, stay the **K away from me. Police officer, SIR, let the girl go. You're only making this worse for yourself. Criminal, I said **K off. I am taking this money with me. The criminal says as he pushes the gun in the girl's head. Please let me go. Criminal, shut it, or I'll blow you head off. Police officer, SIR, please let the girl go. The criminal shots the gun in the air, scaring a bunch of the citizens. Isuku isn't fazed by it, but he checks on Eri, and she is shaking in fear. Isuku, that BSDRD, he's scaring Eri. I could do something, but I can't take Eri with me. Isuku looks around and sees a woman with blonde hair who is carrying groceries. Isuku, perfect. He then walks over to the women, holding Eri's hand. Izuku, excuse me. The woman looks towards Izuku and is surprised by his height. Why yes. Izuku, can you watch over her for a sec? He says as he shows Eri to the women. Oh, of course. Izuku nods and crouches down to Eri's level. Izuku, Eri, I'll be back. Just stay with her, okay? Eri, why yes, Papa? Eri is still shaken by the gunshot, but still walks over to the women. Izuku, thank you, he says as he walks over to the criminal. Hi there, what's your name? Eri, Mitsuki. That's an appealing name. I'm Mitsuki Bakugu. Eri, and nice to meet you. Mitsuki, it's nice to meet you to Eri, she says with a smile. Her smile seems to help Eri feel better. Mitsuki, so is that man your dad? Eri, yes, Papa is strong. Mitsuki, I see. As she says this, she looks over to Izuku. Mitsuki, he is strong and handsome. No stop, he is probably married already. Mitsuki, hey Eri, can I ask you something? Eri, what is it, Ms. Mitsuki? Mitsuki, do you have a mom? Eri, no, I don't have a mama, but that's okay, I have Papa. Mitsuki, so he's single. As she is thinking about how to Izuku being single, we see Izuku walking towards the criminal. Everyone can see Izuku or try to stop him, but he is super intimidating, so they just let him. Criminal, stop right there, he says as he aims his gun at Izuku. Izuku doesn't stop moving and continues to walk towards him. The criminal starts to feel intimidated by Izuku's appearance and starts to panic. Criminal, I said stop, the criminal says as he shoots Izuku in the shoulder. Everyone screams as Izuku is shot. Eri sees this and screams for her papa. Izuku shrugs the bullet off and walks faster towards the criminal. Criminal, what? The criminal is scared and prepares to shoot Izuku again. The girl that is being held captive by the criminal sees this and stomps the criminal foot. The criminal screams in pain and the girl gets out of his grip. While the criminal is distracted, Izuku is close enough and grabs the criminal by the neck. The criminal tries to break free and goes to shoot Izuku. Izuku grabs the gun by putting his hand on the barrel and the criminal shoots his hand. Everyone is shocked Izuku. Just let him shoot his hand. Izuku isn't fazed by his hand getting shot and just glares at the criminal. The criminal is scared and Izuku rips the gun out of his hand. Izuku throws the criminal to the floor and aims the gun at the criminal. Izuku is about to shoot the criminal until he realizes people are watching, including Eri. Izuku exhales out of his nose and breaks the gun. He drops the broken gun on the floor and walks away. Now that the police have a chance, they apprehend the criminal and are him in cuffs. Police officer, we got him. Someone call an ambulance. While the police take down the criminal, Izuku walks back to Eri and she runs at Izuku, hugging him. Eri, are you okay, Papa? Izuku, yeah, I'm fine. Everyone is just staring at Izuku in shock. Izuku can feel the stares from everyone and wants to leave. Izuku, come on, let's get out of here, he says as he picks Eri up. Eri, but Papa, you're bleeding. Mitsuki, yeah, you should wait for the ambulance. Izuku, I should stop the bleeding. Izuku, fine, he says as he walks over to the sidewalk and sits down with Eri. As Izuku is waiting, those that were watching go up to Izuku and start to ask him questions, such as, are you okay? How did that not hurt? How are you so tall? But one question got Izuku's attention. What's your quirk? Izuku, I don't have a quirk. Everyone heard what Izuku said, even though it was very quiet. Civilians, what? Everyone was surprised to hear Isuku was quirkless. Mitsuki was shocked that someone who was quirkless took down a criminal. Eri didn't know her papa was quirkless, but doesn't care that he's quirkless. The girl, like the others, was shocked as well. He's quirkless? The civilians mumbles to each other while Isuku was starting to get irritated. Shortly after, the ambulance arrived and started to patch Isuku up. Eri knew she could remind Izuku's body and heal his injuries, but she was scared that if she did use her quirk, she would rewind him out of existence. Izuku knew this, but knew why Eri couldn't use her quirk. Izuku was patched up and wanted to leave. The girl wanted to thank Izuku for saving her, so she walked over to Izuku. You excuse me? Izuku, I just wanted to thank you. for saving me. Izuku nods his head in silence. Anyways, I wanted to ask, if you don't mind. Izuku. What's your end name? Izuku. Izuku? Just Izuku? Izuku. MHM. Okay, well, my name is P. Pony Tsunatori. Izuku. Nice to meet you, Tsunatori. Pony. Why you can call me P. Pony. Izuku. Okay, Pony. Eri. Papa, we should get going. Izuku right by Pony. Pony. Wait, could I get your phone number? Izuku. I guess. They exchange phone numbers, and Izuku leave the scene. The civilians wanted to ask Izuku more questions, but the police were stopping them. Izuku and Eri are walking to Jiraiya's house. Izuku. I hope I didn't take too long. Eri. Papa, are you okay? Izuku. Yeah, Eri, I'm fine. Eri. Okay. The both walk in silence, and Eri is thinking. Eri. Is Papa hurt because of me? Izuku notices Eri is upset and stops walking with Eri. Izuku. Is something wrong, Eri? Eri. Papa. Is it my fault you got hurt? Izuku. What? Of course not. Why do you think it's your fault? Eri. If we didn't go there, then you wouldn't have gotten hurt, and I made you go. Izuku. Eri, listen to me, he says as he crouches down to her level. Izuku. It's not your fault you wanted to do the right thing. It was my fault I let him shoot me. Eri. But I made you go, Papa. Izuku. And I'm glad you did. If I didn't go, other people would have gotten hurt. I was a fool for trying to ignore it, so don't blame yourself for wanting to help others. Eri. But, Izuku. But nothing, I'm hurt because of the criminal. All you did was help me do what was right, and I'm glad you did okay. Eri. Okay, Papa, she says as Izuku hugs her. Eri smiles and hugs her Papa back with all her might. Izuku slightly smiles and picked her up. Izuku. I want you to know something, Eri. Eri. Yes, Papa. Izuku. I'm glad I found you that day. You changed me in ways I never could by myself. Eri's eyes started to water up as she heard her Papa telling her how happy he was to have her with him. Izuku. So thank you for being with me, Eri. Eri started to cry with tears of happiness, and Izuku laid her head on his chest, letting her cry in his chest. Izuku. I love you, Eri, and nothing will change that. And Eri continues to cry in his chest. Time skip. After that, we see Izuku and Eri in front of Jiraiya's front door. Izuku knocks on it, and they both wait. Eri. Papa. What are we doing here again? Izuku. We're here because my friend wanted to hang out with us. Eri. Ooh, okay, Papa, she says as the door opens. Mika. Hello? As she says that, she sees Izuku standing there with a little girl next to him, and notices the BLD going through his shirt and the bandage on his hand. Mika. Hello, who might you be? Izuku. I'm Izuku. I came here to see Kiyoka. Mika. Kiyoka? Okay, I'll go get her. Please come in, she says as she lets Izuku and Eri in. Izuku walks into the living room and sits down with Eri. Mika. I'll go get her, just stay here, she says as she walks off. Eri. Papa, she looked pretty. Izuku. Yeah, she is, isn't she? As Izuku said that, he didn't know that Mika heard him. She blushed and continued to Kiyoka's room. Mika arrives to her room and knocks on it. Mika. Kiyoka. There's someone here to see you. Kiyoka. Oh, it's Izuku. Kiyoka. Coming, Mom, she says as she opens the door. She sees her mom standing there blushing. Kiyoka. Mom, are you blushing? Mika. He said I looked appealing. Kiyoka. Oh, did he? Mika. We didn't tell me that, but the little girl he had with him said I looked appealing, and he agreed with her. Kiyoka. Oh, that must be Eri he was talking about. Mika. She is such a sweet little girl, she says as she walks back to Izuku and Eri with Kiyoka. They enter the living room to see Eri playing with Izuku's hair. Izuku is enjoying his time with Eri. Kiyoka coughs and get the attention of Eri and Izuku. Izuku. Oh, hi. Kiyoka. You look like you're having fun. As she says this, Izuku stands up and Kiyoka sees the BLD on his shirt. Kiyoka. Oh my god, Izuku, what happened? She questions Izuku as she checks on him. Izuku. I just had a little accident. I'm fine. Kiyoka. We'll be more careful. I don't want to lose you, okay? Izuku. I will. Anyways, I'd like you to meet Eri, my daughter. Kiyoka. Hi there, Eri. I'm Kiyoka Jiru, and this is my mom. Mika. Hi there, I'm Mika. Eri. Hello. Kiyoka. Anyways, what are we doing today, Isuku? Isuku. To be honest, I don't have anything planned. Kiyoka. Well, I would love to see your place. Isuku. All right then. You ready to go? Kiyoka. Yep, let's go. Isuku. Eri and Kiyoka are about to leave until... Mika. Excuse me. Isuku. Mika. See, can I come along? I don't have anything to do here, so... Isuku. What do you think, Kiyoka? Kiyoka. I'm fine with it. She can come. Isuku. Okay, you can come along, Mika. Mika. He called me by my first name. Mika. Gee, great, let's go. She says, and they leave to Izuku's house. Time skip. They arrive to Izuku's house and enter the front door. Kiyoka. Wow, this place looks comfy. Mika. I know. Isuku. Make yourself at home. He says as he puts Eri down and goes to his room. Isuku. I'll be right back. I need to get changed real quick. He says as he goes to his room. Mika. Is it okay if I use the bathroom? Isuku. Oh, sure, just go through the hall and take the left. Mika. Okay, thank you. And he goes into the hall and into his room. Mika then goes to the bathroom and Eri goes to Kiyoka. Eri, excuse me. Kiyoka. Oh, what is it, Eri? Eri, I just wanted to tell you, I really like your hair, so I wanted to know if I play with it. Kiyoka. Oh, of course you can. As long as I can play with your hair. Eri. Okay. And they both play with each other's hair. After some time passes, we see Mika leaving the bathroom. As she is walking through the hallway, she hears someone talking. She looks towards the voice and sees a door open. She looks through it and sees Isuku trying to take his shirt off. It seems he can't take it off cause of the bandages. Every time he tries to take the shirt off, the wounds from the gunshots hurt his shoulder. Mika. Isuku. Isuku looks towards his door and sees Mika standing there. Mika. Are you okay? Do you need help? Isuku. I would like that, please. Mika enters his room and closes the door behind her. Mika goes to Isuku and helps take his shirt off. She successfully does so, and as she does, she can see all of his battle scars and his muscular body. She is shocked by his body and starts to inspect his scars and muscles. Mika, whoa. She is in a deep trance as she continues to feel his scars and muscles. Mika sits Isuku on the bed and continues to feel his body. Isuku is just sitting there blushing as Mika is touching his scars and his muscles. Isuku, Mika? Mika snaps out of it and realizes what she is doing. Mika, sorry, she says as she moves her hands away from Isuku. Isuku gets up and goes to his closet and opens it, grabbing a random shirt. As Izuku puts his shirt on, Mika is still sitting on the bed blushing. Isuku has his shirt on and he walks over to Mika, sitting next to her. Mika, I'm sorry about that. Isuku. It's alright, but I wonder why you did that. Mika. I'm sorry. I was just amazed by your body. Oh god, that sounds weird. Isuku. That's not what I meant. Mika. Huh. Isuku. What I mean was, aren't you married? Mika. Oh no, I'm not. Isuku, what happened? Mika. Let's just say, he wasn't a good man. Isuku. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mika. It's okay. I'm glad me and Kiyoka aren't with him anymore. Isuku. Still though, it must have been hard to deal with someone like that. Mika. It was, but that's in the past now. Isuku. Well, I'm glad you and Kiyoka are safe now. Mika. Yeah, so am I. She says as she lays her head on Izuku's shoulder. Izuku looks towards Mika and puts his hand on her shoulder, rubbing her shoulder. She smiles and closes her eyes, comfortable with her head on his shoulder. Izuku lays his head on top of hers and closes his eyes. Her hair feels soft on his cheek, and he slightly smiles, comfortable with his head in her hair. They both sit there enjoying the silence. Mika then places her hand on top of Izuku's. Izuku notices and looks towards his hand. He sees her hand laying on his, and he flips his hand and holds her hand. Mika feels her hand is being held and smiles as she squeezes it. Izuku takes his head off of hers, and so does Mika. They both look into each other's eyes and begin to move closer to each other. They both close their eyes, and their lips come together. As they make out, Mika places her hand on Izuku's cheek, and Izuku lays her down on the bed. They break the kiss, and Izuku kisses her neck, causing her to mmm softly. As Izuku is kissing her neck, Mika nuzzles the back of Izuku's head, enjoying it. Izuku stops kissing her neck, and they both look at each other, breathing heavily. Mika, why? Did you stop? Izuku, we need to stop. Mika, why? Izuku, Eri and Kiyoka. Mika, oh, alright, she says as Izuku gets off her. Mika fixes her clothes, and Izuku helps her up. Izuku, let's not keep them waiting. Mika, yeah. And they both leave Izuku's room. They enter the living room and see Kiyoka and Eri playing with each other's hair. Kiyoka has her hair in a bunch of ties, while Eri's is tied up in a ponytail. Eri, Papa, look how pretty we are, she says as she shows off her hair. Kiyoka, yep, pretty, she says as she points to her hair. Mika tries her best not to laugh at Kiyoka's hair, while Izuku just goes to Eri and picks her up. Izuku, you look amazing, Eri, he says as he spins her around. She giggles as he places her down back to the floor. Izuku, so what are we gonna do? They all think, and Eri gets an idea. Eri, let's watch a movie, Papa. Mika, oh, I like that. Kiyoka, sure, why not? Izuku, all right, but which movie? The girls are about to say something, but Eri beats them to it. Eri, a SpongeBob movie. Don't blame me for bringing SpongeBob in a lot. I love SpongeBob. Izuku sighs with a small smile. Kiyoka, all right. Mika, I don't see why not. Izuku, okay, he says as he picks Eri up and walks to the couch. Izuku, you like SpongeBob, huh? Eri, MHM. Izuku, that's great, 'cause I like SpongeBob too. Eri, really? Izuku, yeah, but it's a secret, so don't tell anyone. Eri, okay, Papa, I won't. But little did they both know, Kiyoka and Mika both heard what they said with their quirk. Mika, for someone so intimidating and serious when he wants to be, he likes SpongeBob? That's kinda cute. Kiyoka, oh my god, a big strong dude who loves SpongeBob is cute. They all go to the couch and sit down. Izuku is sitting in the middle with Eri on his lap, while Kiyoka and Jiru sit next to him. Izuku puts on the 2004 SpongeBob movie, which in my opinion is a good movie. Time skip. The movie ends and Izuku stretches his arms. Izuku, did you like the movie, Eri? She doesn't answer him. Izuku, Eri. He looks down and sees Eri is asleep on his chest. Mika, it seems she fell asleep. Izuku, yeah, and so is Kiyoka, he says as he looks towards Kiyoka. Kiyoka is asleep with her head on his shoulder. Mika, well, I should get Kiyoka home. Izuku, you can sleep here if you want. Mika, oh, are you sure? Izuku, yeah, I don't have an extra room for her, so she'll have to sleep on the couch. Mika, it's okay. I'm sure she'll be fine with it. Izuku, okay, could you take Eri to her room? It's right next to mine, he says as he gives her to Mika. Mika, sure, I'll be right back, she says as she walks to Eri's room. Izuku holds Kiyoka's head as he stands up and lays her head down on a pillow. He leaves Kiyoka and goes to his room. He enters his room and walks over to his closet. Opening it, he pulls out a blanket from the top of the closet and closes the closet, walking back to the living room. He enters the living room and goes over to Kiyoka, covering her with the blanket. Mika comes back and sees Izuku. Mika, I put Eri to bed, but where will I sleep? Izuku, you'll sleep with me, if that's okay with you. Mika, I get to sleep with Izuku? Yes. Mika, oh, of course, let's go to bed. Izuku, MHM, and they both go to Izuku's room. Once they enter the room, they get in bed and lay next to each other. They both feel awkward about this. Mika wants to say something, but can't think of anything. That is until Izuku turns around, wraps his arm around Mika's waist. Mika, Izuku? Izuku. Mika, why you're She is about to say something, but thinks for a moment. She decides to just let it happen. She turns around and hugs Izuku. They both feel comfort as they lay there in each other's arms. Mika, you Izuku. Izuku, He looks down to Mika, and as he does, she lands a kiss on his lips. Izuku is surprised, but enjoys the kiss. Mika breaks the kiss and looks in Izuku's eyes. Mika, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. She is interrupted by Izuku as his hand caresses her cheek. Izuku, it's okay, Mika, he says as he kisses Mika on the lips. Mika's eyes widen as she feels Izuku's kiss, but she enjoys it as she holds Izuku's cheek and closes her eyes, enjoying every second. They break the kiss, and Izuku moves Mika and is on top of her. Mika holds Izuku's face in her hands and brings him closer to her face. Mika, see, can we do it? Izuku, do you mean section? Mika, don't say it like that. Izuku laughs silently as she covers her face, blushing. After laughing, he slowly stops and moves Mika's hands from her face. Izuku, we can do it if you're okay with it. Mika, I want to, she says as she blushes harder. Izuku nods with a small smile as he kisses her neck. She moans softly as her hands are holding onto Izuku's shoulders. As Izuku kisses her neck, he uses one of his hands and slides his hand through her skirt. She blushes crazy and puts her head into his shoulder. After he pleases her, he takes his hand out and takes her skirt off. Mika, please be gentle. Izuku, I will. And they both have a wonderful night together. We start the chapter off as we see Izuku and Mika sleeping together. It's early in the morning. The birds are chirping and the sun is rising. The first one to wake up is Mika as she sits up and rubs her eyes. She can't see anything as everything is blurry. Mika, where's my glasses? She says as she feels around the bed. She then looks towards the desk and feels around it. Mika, here they are. She puts on her glasses and looks around the room. Next to her is Izuku as the sun shines on his body. Mika, oh my, she says as she observed his body. She then looks down and notices she is naked. Mika, 0////0. She covers herself in the blanket and blushes hard. Mika, did we? She asks herself, and she looks down to the floor. She can see hers and his clothes scattered on the floor. Mika tries to move her legs, but she can't. Mika, I think we actually did it, she says as she covers her face with her hands. Mika, I can't believe we did it, she says as she uncovers her face. She looks towards Izuku, and he rolls over and faces Mika. As he is facing her, the blanket falls off of him and shows his mighty pole. Mika blushes as she sees it and turns away. Mika, it's so big. As she says that, she is pulled into a hug. Mika, Izuku, she whispers to him. Izuku is cuddling with Mika, and she hugs Izuku back as she lays her head on his chest. Mika, he feels so warm, she says as she closes her eyes and embraces the hug. But suddenly she feels something grow between her legs. She looks down and sees Izuku's pole between her legs. Mika, Izuku, she says as she tries to get out of his grip, but she accidentally rubs his pole with her area. She makes a high-pitched squeal. Mika, Izuku, she says as she shakes Izuku. As she shakes him, she rubs her area against his pole again. Mika, Ayat. She then shoves her head into his chest. Mika is blushing hard and is trying to hold in her mmm. Mika, that felt so good. She thinks for a bit and decides to rub his pole again. She continues to rub her area against his pole and is breathing heavily. But as she is doing this, his pole accidentally goes into her area. Mika moans loudly but covers her mouth. Mika, it went in. She is deciding on if she should stop or not. She decides to keep going since she has already gone this far. She lays Izuku on his back and gets on top of him. She still has his pole inside her area. Mika, okay, this sea can't be too hard, right? She says as she prepares herself. She slowly starts to move on his pole and is enjoying it. Mika sits up and covers her mouth with one hand and starts to speed up. Mika, as she continues, she doesn't notice that Izuku is starting to wake up. Izuku, what is going on? As he asks himself, he sees Mika riding his pole. Izuku, he has a small blush on his face and decides to stay quiet. Mika doesn't notice that Izuku is watching. But then Izuku grunts and Mika notices. She stops and looks down to Izuku. Mika, Izuku. Mika, I can explain. She says as she tries to get off of Izuku. But she slips and Izuku's pull goes deeper in her. Mika moans and covers her mouth immediately, and Izuku grunts. Mika is holding herself up on Izuku's chest, and Izuku is holding her by her waist. Izuku, are you okay? Mika nods as she is breathing heavily. Izuku, let me help you off, he says as he sits up and holds her by her, but he then starts to lift her, but she stops him. Mika, wait. Izuku, what? Mika, see, can we keep going? She says as she has her head on his shoulder. Izuku, are you sure? I mean, you seem like you can't handle it. Mika, I know I can't, but I want to. Izuku, well, if you're really sure you want to, then I guess we can, he says as he sits up. She holds onto his shoulders and Izuku holds her by her waist. She's sitting on his lap and Izuku starts to move. Mika, she moans out as Izuku is penetrating her. He then starts to kiss her neck. She holds his head with one hand as the other is covering her mouth with the other. As Izuku is kissing her neck, he goes lower as he does and ends up to her chest. She holds his head and she starts moving along with Izuku. Mika, Izuku. She calls out his name as she is about to reach her limit. Izuku is about to CLMX so he goes faster. They both in CLMX and Mika squeezes Izuku's head against her chest. Once they are done, Mika falls back and Izuku catches her. Izuku, Mika, are you okay? Mika, I'm so tired, she says as Izuku lays her down on the bed. Izuku sighs in relief as he gets up off the bed. Izuku, I need to take a shower, he says as he looks to the ground and notices the clothes on the floor. Izuku picks the clothes up and folds them. Izuku, I'll wash theses later. He goes to his closet and takes some clothes from his closet. He goes to his bathroom and takes a shower. As he is taking a shower, Mika tries to get up, but she can't. So she covers herself in the blanket and waits for Izuku. Shortly after, he gets out for the shower and leaves the bathroom. Mika, Izuku, I don't have any clothes, she says as she puts her face into the blanket. Izuku, As he is thinking, he changes into a new fresh set of clothes. Once he is done, he goes back into his closet. Izuku, while I look for some clothes for you, go take a shower? Mika, oh okay. She then stands up but starts to wobble around. Izuku, are you okay? Mika, why yeah, I'm fine, she says as she balances herself out and goes into the bathroom. She then starts to take a shower. While she is taking a shower, Izuku is taking some clothes from his closet. Izuku, I'm glad I was able to please her, but I don't think I was done. Izuku then remembers how Mika's body looked when she was on top of him. Izuku slightly blushes but shakes it off. Izuku, DM in it. He grabs the clothes he needed and puts them on the desk. He goes to his bed and starts to fix it. After a while, Mika comes out of the shower in a towel. And as she comes out, the bed is fixed and there's a set of clothes on the bed with a note on it. She goes to it and read it. Dear Mika, I left to go wash our clothes. I won't be back for a while, so I will appreciate it if you watched Eri while I was gone. Izuku PS also I hope you enjoyed our time together. Mika blushes at the end of the note. Mika, I did Izuku, she says as she puts the note to the side and changed into Izuku's clothes. Once she is done changing, she hugs her clothes and smiles. Mika, Izuku's clothes feel so warm, she says as she goes to Izuku's mirror. She is wearing an oversized blonde sweater with oversized shorts. She fixes her glasses and leaves. Izuku's room. Once she is in the living room, she sees Kiyoka and Eri sitting in the living room with their own bowls of cereal, watching TV. Mika, good morning, girls, she says with a calming smile. Eri, good morning. Kiyoka, morning, mom, she says as she finishes her cereal and gets up. Kiyoka, so mom, can I talk to you real quick? Mika, why of course, sweetie, she says as she follows Kiyoka to the kitchen. Kiyoka, so mom, how was it? She says as she puts her bowl in the sink. Mika, how was what? Kiyoka, how was Izuku in bed? Mika, what are you taking about? She asks as she has a blush on her face. Kiyoka, mom, you were really loud last night, including this morning, and I kinda watched. She says, as she has a blush on her face. Mika, what when? Kiyoka, last night. She says as she plays with her earphone jacks. Flashback. Kiyoka is sleeping on the couch and starts moving around. She can hear someone and wakes up. Kiyoka, what's that noise? She asks herself as she gets up off the couch. She follows the noise and sees a door open with a light shining through the crack of it. She slightly opens the door and sees Mika riding Isuku. Kiyoka blushes as she can see her mom riding on top of Isuku. Kiyoka, Mom. Mika, oh Isuku. She moans his name as Isuku grasps her, but Mika holds Izuku's hand as he clenches onto her, but as Kiyoka is watching, she slides her hand through her pants and starts to please herself. Kiyoka, what am I doing? I'm pleasing myself as I'm watching my mom having sex with my crush. She stops and thinks for a moment. Kiyoka, but then again, it is kinda hot. She then starts to imagine herself in Mika's place, and that turns her on. She continues to please herself as she imagines herself in her mom's place, being penetrated by Isuku. As Mika is riding Isuku, Isuku sits up and kisses her chest. Mika holds Izuku's head against her chest as she starts to speed up. As Kiyoka is watching, she slides her other hand under her shirt and starts to play with her chest. She starts to rub herself at the same place as her mom. Mika, Isuku, I'm gonna dash. Isuku, I am too. Mika lets go of Isuku and begins to go faster as Isuku holds onto her waist. Kiyoka starts to go faster as she starts to breath heavier. And they all CLMX. Kiyoka and Mika have reached their limit and are tired. Mika lays down on Isuku and Isuku wraps his arms around her. Mika, Isuku, that was amazing. She says as she begins to doze off to sleep. Isuku rubs her back and covers themselves in their blanket. Isuku, yeah, it was, he says as he closes his eyes and goes to sleep. With Kiyoka, she has her head against the door frame and pulls her hand out of her pants. Kiyoka, that was so good. She struggles to get up as her legs are wobbling. She helps herself up with the door frame and closes the door. Kiyoka, I should clean myself up. And she goes to the bathroom. After some time, she leaves the bathroom. Kiyoka, OCRP, did Eri hear them? She quickly goes to Eri's door and opens it. She sees Eri is asleep in her bed, cuddling with a toy bunny. Kiyoka thank God. She closes the door and walks back into the living room. Before laying back on the couch, she goes into the kitchen and gets a cup of water. As she drinks her cup of water, she starts to think about what her mom and her crush were doing. Kiyoka, can't believe I just did that, watching my mom F Isuku. She finishes her cup and puts it in the sink. Kiyoka, but then again, who could resist such a hot guy? She thinks to herself as she goes back to the couch. Kiyoka, and who wouldn't want to ride his big, huge, deep dash before she could finish that sentence? The TV goes son, which make her jump. She checks around herself and finds out she was laying on the remote. She turns the TV off and lays back down on the couch. Kiyoka, I should get some sleep. And she goes back to sleep. Into flashback, Kiyoka, and that's what happened. Mika I'm glad Eri didn't hear anything. Kiyoka, yeah, thank God. Mika, so, you were watching? Kiyoka, why yeah, I'm sorry. Mika, you don't have to apologize, Kiyoka. I was the one who woke you up. Kiyoka, but I was watching and I kinda liked it. Mika, I see. They both are just standing there in awkward silence. Mika, so you liked it. Kiyoka, why yeah. Mika, so, does that mean you want to do it with Isuku? Kiyoka, and no. Well. Maybe, but I don't think he likes me that way. Mika, Kiyoka, you'll never know if he loves you if you never tell him. Kiyoka, but what if, Mika, Kiyoka, just tell him how you feel when he gets back, and I'm sure he'll feel the same. Kiyoka, well, okay then. Mika, good. She says as she hugs Kiyoka. Mika, now, let's see what Eri is doing. She says as she runs off to the living room. Kiyoka, why yeah, I'm coming. Kiyoka, well, Mom's right. I have to tell Isuku how I feel. I just hope he feels the same. Meanwhile, we see Izuku waiting for his clothes to dry as he is on his phone. As he is on his phone, he notices a mother and a boy playing together. He starts to get flashbacks of when he was a kid, playing heroes with his mother. But his flashbacks are interrupted as someone goes up to him. Excuse me, Izuku. I hope you don't mind me asking, but do you have any extra change? I don't have enough for the drying machine. Izuku nods as he reaches into his wallet and takes out some change. Thank you so much, she says as Izuku gives her the change. Izuku, you're welcome. Ryuku, my name is Ryuku Tatsuma. It's nice to meet you, she says as she reaches her hand out. Izuku, he says as he shakes her hand. Ryuku, do you have a last name? Izuku, I don't like my last name. Ryuku, oh, I'm sorry for asking. Izuku, it's okay. You didn't know. Ryuku, oh, all right, well, I'll be right back, she says as she runs off. Izuku goes back to his phone as he waits for her. Izuku, wait a minute. Isn't she that hero I ran into a few days ago? He looks towards where she ran off and realizes she is right next to him as she is turning on the machine. Izuku, now that I'm not fighting her, As she stands up, she shakes her head and her hair flows around a bit. Izuku, appealing. He has a small blush on his face as he is admiring her beauty. As he is, Ryuku turns around and Izuku turns back to his phone. Ryuku, I just noticed I'm right next to you, she says as she rubs the back of her head with a smile. Izuku, yeah, I just noticed that too, he says as he puts his phone away. Ryuku, so, while we're waiting for our clothes, why don't you tell me about yourself? Izuku, well, what do you want to know? Ryuku, well, let's see, she says as she sits on a random washing machine. Ryuku, what do you do as a hobby? Izuku, I don't know. Ryuku, wait, you don't do anything? Izuku, well, I do spend time with my daughter. Ryuku, well, that's a hobby. Izuku, oh, sorry. Ryuku, it's cool, but what do you do with her? Izuku, well, we watch SpongeBob a lot. Ryuku, wow, she must really like SpongeBob. Izuku, she's not the only one, he says as he faces away from her. Ryuku, you both love watching SpongeBob? Izuku, maybe. Ryuku, that's crazy cause I love SpongeBob. Izuku, really? Ryuku, yeah, it's my childhood cartoon. Izuku, that's nice to know. Ryuku, I think it's kinda cute how a big, strong guy loves watching SpongeBob with his little girl. As she says this, Izuku has a small blush on his face, and Ryuku realizes what she says and blushes. Ryuku, sorry, she says as she scoots away from Izuku. Ryuku, I made it look like I was hitting on you. I wouldn't want to ruin your relationship with your wife and kid. Izuku, wife. Ryuku, wait, you're not married? Izuku, no, I'm not. Ryuku, wait, then is she? Izuku, adopted, yes. Ryuku, oh, so that means you're single, she says as she scoots closer. Izuku, if you put it that way, then yes, I am single. Ryuku, so, does that mean you're free tomorrow? She asks Izuku as she's leaning against Izuku. Izuku, it does, he says as he wraps his arm around her. Ryuku, sounds like a date then, she says as she moves her face towards Izuku's. Izuku, that sounds nice, he says as he moves closer to her face. Ryuku, then I can't wait. She kisses Izuku and holds his cheek with her hand. Izuku kisses her back as he holds her by the waist. She deepens the kiss as she slips her tongue in and holds his face with her hands. Izuku then moves in front of her and pulls her against himself. She wraps her legs around him and wraps her arms around his neck as well. But before they could go any further, one of the machines go off and they both stop making out. Ryuku, I kind of forgot we're here. Izuku, sorry, he says as he lets her go. Ryuku, it's okay, she says as she fixes herself. Izuku opens his machine and takes out his clothes from the dryer. He begins to fold them and places them in the basket he brought with him. Ryuku, do you need help with that? Izuku, I would like that, thank you. She then begins to help Izuku with his clothes, and they eventually finish putting Izuku's clothes away. Ryuku, So, I'll see you tomorrow then. Izuku. Yeah. Here's my number, so you can tell me where we'll meet. He says as he takes a piece of paper and writes his number down on it. Ryuku. Oh, I'll be sure to call you tomorrow. Izuku. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. He says as he picks his basket up and walks away. Ryuku. Why, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. And Izuku is gone. She's standing there with Izuku's number in her hands with a blush on her face. Ryuku. Oh my god, how did I play that so calmly? She asks herself as she holds her face in embarrassment. And as Izuku is walking back, he has a small blush on his face. Izuku, what just happened back there? He asks himself as he continues to walk. Izuku, well, I guess I got myself a date tomorrow, but what do I tell Mika? He asks himself as he stops walking. Izuku, the only thing I can do is tell her the truth. He continues to walk home. Izuku, I shouldn't keep this a secret. It will only make things worse. And he continues to walk back home, thinking of what to tell Mika. Time skip. It's dark outside and Izuku just arrived home. He is at his front door and begins to open it. Izuku, it's so late out, I should get a car soon. He enters his home and sees that the lights are out. Izuku goes through the living room and sees that Mika is watching TV with Eri sleeping on her lap. Mika then realizes that Izuku has arrived. Mika, hello Izu. She whispers to him. Izuku, why yeah, hello Mika. He says as he walks past her without even looking at her. He is still trying to figure out the words to explain this to Mika. Mika realizes something is wrong with Izuku and decides to talk to Izuku. Mika lifts Eri's head off her lap and lays her head on a pillow. Mika follows Izuku to his room and sees that he is putting some of his clothes away as he is laying her folded clothes on the bed. Mika, Izuku, is something wrong? She says as she enters his room and closes the door. Izuku sighs deeply as Mika goes up to him from behind and hugs him. Izuku, while I was washing the clothes today, I met someone named Ryuku. Mika, go on. She says as she sits Izuku down on the bed. Izuku, we talked for a while, and after a while, she asked me out on a date. Mika, and what did you say? Izuku, I agreed to it. Mika, oh, well, that's okay, Izuku. She says with a smile. Izuku, I know it's wrong and dash, wait, what? Mika, Izuku, I know I'm not going to be the only woman who falls for you, but you should really be careful about who you fall for. Izuku, I know that, but she seemed nice. Mika, so that's why it's a good idea to take them on a date. She says as she hugs him. Izuku, so you're okay with this? Mika, of course I am, but I want to meet them before you do anything. Izuku, are you sure you're okay with it? Mika, yes I am, and I'm proud that you decided to tell me. She says as she kisses him on the cheek. Izuku then hugs Mika and lays his head on her shoulder. She smiles and sits on his lap, hugging him back. Mika, I love you, Izu. Izuku, me too. He says as he lays back on the bed with Mika in his arms. She smiles as she tightens her hug around Izuku and cuddles her head on his chest. Izuku takes his hand and plays with Mika's hair as she closes her eyes and enjoys it. But then Mika remembers that Kiyoka is going to confess to Izuku, so she gets up. Mika, I'll be in the living room when you're done, okay? She says as she is sitting on his stomach. Izuku, And she gets up off him and leaves his room. As she's leaving, she almost bumps into Kiyoka, who is standing there, blushing. Mika, are you going to tell him now? Kiyoka, why yeah. Mika, good. Also, you heard what me and him were talking about, right? Kiyoka, yeah, I heard, and I'm okay with sharing him. Mika, all right, now go tell him. She says as she walks away. Kiyoka takes a deep breath and goes to his room. As she enters, she sees Izuku putting some clothes away. Kiyoka, you Izuku. Izuku, Kiyoka, I wanted to tell you something. She says as she closes the door behind her. Izuku, what is it? He asks as he turns around to face her. Kiyoka, I wanted to tell you, that I really you. She is struggling to tell Izuku as she has a huge blush on her face and she starts to play with her earphone jacks. Izuku notices and walks up to her. Izuku, is something wrong? He asks her as he rests his hand on her forehead. She blushes harder as she can feel Izuku's hand lay on her head. Izuku, you're not sick. He is about to remove his hand until she grabs his hand with her two hands. Izuku, Kiyoka. She then moves his hand on top of her head. She lets go and looks up to him with a flustered expression on her face. Izuku gets a slight blush as he thinks she looks cute. He starts to pet her head, and she closes her eyes as she enjoys the head pats. She then slowly hugs Izuku, and he hugs her back as he continues to pet her head. After a short amount of time, she looks up to Izuku, and he looks done to her. She pushes her feet up and kisses Izuku on the lips. Izuku kisses her back as they close their eyes and continue to kiss each other. She moves her hand to Izuku's cheek, and she breaks to kiss. Kiyoka, I like you. Izuku, I do too. And as he says that, she pulls his face towards hers and continues to kiss him. Izuku slowly grabs her butt and lifts her up. She wraps her legs around him and wraps her arms around his neck. As they are making out, Kiyoka accidentally rubs her area against Izuku's waist, and she can feel his pipe. She stops kissing and goes up to Izuku's ear. Kiyoka, see can we? She asks as she rubs her area against Izuku's waist. Izuku, only if you want to, he says as he whispers back in her ear. Kiyoka, why yes, I want to, she says as gives Izuku's a quick kiss on the cheek. Izuku, okay, but let's be quick, he says as he puts her against the wall. Kiyoka, okay, she says as she starts to unzip Izuku's pants. As she does that, Izuku begins to take her shorts and underwear off. Kiyoka takes Izuku's pole out and lines it up with her area. Izuku, are you ready? He asks her as he is holding her against the wall. Kiyoka, yeah, I am, she says as she is holding Izuku's shoulders. Izuku nods and slowly pushes his pole inside her. Once it's in, she lets out a loud mmm, but Izuku quickly kisses her, masking her mmm. Izuku has her lifted against himself and the wall and proceeds to move. As he moves, she continues to mmm with every move he makes. As she is being banged by Izuku, Mika can hear everything that is going on and goes to put Eri in her room. Mika, I didn't expect her to do it with Izuku this early, she says in her thoughts as she has a blush on her face. Eri has earmuffs on her ears since Mika wanted to make sure Eri couldn't hear anything. Mika, but I was prepared. She then proceeds to take Eri to her bed. With Izuku and Kiyoka, Izuku is kissing her neck as she covered her mouth with her hand. She has her arm wrapped around Izuku's neck and Izuku's stops kissing her neck. Izuku tightens the grip on her, but proceeds to go faster. Kiyoka, Izuku, I'm gonna. Izuku hears her and proceeds to speed up. She starts to mmm loudly and wraps her legs around Isuku. And eventually she reaches her limit as she can feel something warm enter inside her. She is breathing heavily as she is hugging Izuku. Izuku is still holding her by her, but takes his pole out of her. Izuku pulls his pole out of her, and she is still hugging him. Izuku, are you okay? Kiyoka, I'm okay, just tired, she says as she snuggles her head against Izuku's head. Izuku zips his pants back up and pulls Kiyoka's short back up. Izuku, I'll get you some clean clothes in the morning, he says as he lays her on his bed. Kiyoka, okay, Izuku, and she falls asleep. Izuku puts the blanket over her and gives her a quick kiss on the lips. He goes back to putting the clothes away and eventually finishes. He puts the basket in his closet and leaves his room, tuning the light off. Izuku, good night, Kiyoka, and he leaves the room. He goes into the living room and sees Mika sitting in the couch alone. He goes up to her and sees that she is in a blanket laying down. Mika, oh Izuku, come here, I want to sleep, she whispers to Izuku as she reaches out to him in the blanket. Izuku goes into her arms and lays down with her on him. He takes her glasses off and puts them on the coffee table. He then turns the TV off and Mika puts the blanket over them. Mika, good night, Izuku, good night, Mika, and he gives her a kiss before falling asleep with her in his arms. Izuku is asleep with Mika sleeping on him, but as he hears his phone ringing. He wakes up and sees his phone ringing on the table. He reaches for his phone and sees it's 8:17 in the morning. He answers it and hears Ryuku on the other side of the phone. Ryuku, Good morning, Izuku. Did I wake you up? Izuku. No, I was up already. He lies. Ryuku. Okay, good. Anyways, I was thinking we could go to the festival for our date today. If that sound okay with you. Izuku. That sounds like a plan. He says as he pets Mika's head. Ryuku. Okay, great. I'll meet you at the park around, 10:30. Izuku. Sounds nice. Ryuku. Great. I'll see you soon. Izuku. All right, I'll see you later. And she hangs up. Izuku puts his phone back and stretches. Izuku. Mika, wake up. He says as he softly shakes her shoulder. Mika. No, just a bit longer, please. She says tiredly as she rubs her head on his chest. Izuku. As nice as this is, I need to get up. He says as he sits up. Mika. Okay, fine, but give me a kiss first. She says as she sits up on Izuku's lap. Izuku. I can do that. He says as he holds her waist. She puts her arms on his shoulder and kisses Izuku. She slips her tongue in and wraps her arms around his neck. She then leans forward, causing Izuku to lay on his back. She then lets go of Izuku and takes his hand. She slides his hand through her pants, and Izuku breaks the kiss. Izuku. I thought you wanted just a kiss. Mika. I know, but just real quick, please. She says as she holds his cheek. Izuku asterisk, sigh asterisk, just real quick. He says as he starts to rub her area. Mika. Oh, okay. She says as she lays her head on his shoulder. As he rubs her, he slides his finger in her, and she jumps a bit. She wraps her arms around his neck and covers her mouth with his shoulder. But Izuku stops. Mika. What? Why did you sto dash? But before she could finish, Izuku flips over with her, and Izuku is on top of her. Mika. Izuku? Izuku, just relax. He says as he starts to take her pants off. Izuku leaves her pants to her ankles and lifts her legs onto his shoulders. Izuku moves her panties to the side and starts to kiss her area. Covers her mouth with her hand as she uses the other to play with her chest. And he starts to go faster. She starts to make muffled moans and is about to reach her limit. She crosses her legs, pulling Izuku in. She climaxes and holds Izuku's head against her area. She then lets Izuku go and her legs drop. Izuku takes her legs off of his shoulder and wipes his mouth. Izuku, are you satisfied, Mika? He says as he goes up to her. Mika, why yes, I am. She says with a very satisfied face. Izuku good? He says as he pets her head. She lifts her pants back on and covers her in the blanket. Izuku. Okay, I gotta get ready for the date. He says as he leaves the living room. Time skip. Izuku is at the front door with Mika and Kiyoka, while Eri is sitting in the living room, watching TV. Izuku is freshened up as he is wearing a white t-shirt and ripped jeans. He is also wearing brown jacket. Izuku. Okay, before I leave, are you sure you're okay with watching Eri? Mika. Of course, me and Kiyoka know what we're doing. Kiyoka. Yeah, go and enjoy your date. She says as she starts to push Izuku out the door. She doesn't move him an inch. Izuku. Okay. He says as he picks Kiyoka up. He places her down and gives them both a kiss on the cheek. Izuku leaves the house while Kiyoka, Mika, and Eri wave bye to Izuku. Mika, be careful. Kiyoka, have fun, Izuku. Eri, bye papa. And they close the door. Time skip again. We see Izuku as he is sitting on a bench in the park. He's eating for Ryuku, and as he does, he looks around and sees a family enjoying their time together. He then remembers the time he had with Inko when he was a child. Izuku, I wonder how she's doing. He then realizes what he thought and shakes his head. Izuku, wait, why do I care? As he does, he feels someone tap his shoulder. He turns around and sees Ryuku wearing a black sweater with red stripes on her sleeves with black jeans. Ryuku, I didn't keep you waiting too long, right? Izuku, no, I just got here. He says as he stands up. Ryuku, okay, so are you ready to go? Izuku, yeah, let's go. He says as he begins to walk with her. Ryuku, so I've never been on a date before, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. She says as she runs her arm. Izuku, I've never been on a date as well. Ryuku, oh well, I guess we're both learning. Izuku, I guess we are. Ryuku, well, let's hurry to the festival, she says as she takes his hand and begins to run. As Izuku lets her pull him, he looks towards her hand and has a small blush on his face. Meanwhile, we see a group of 7 creatures feasting on a corpse in an alleyway. As they are eating, they hear loud noises and climb a building. They look towards the distance and seize the festival. They all then begin to run over to the festival to feast on the people there. We go back to Izuku as him and Ryuku arrive to the festival. Ryuku, okay, what are we going to do first? She says as she lets Izuku go. Izuku, I'm not sure. How about we play some games? He says as he takes her hand and walks over to one of the games. She blushes as she walks with Izuku, holding his hand. It's that one game where you have to throw a ball at a stack of cans. Random guy. Come on, come all, knock down this stack of cans and win this plush. Izuku pays for it, and he is given 3 ball. Izuku, would you like to try? He says as he picks up a ball and gives it to Ryuku. Ryuku, of course. She says as she takes the ball and throws it at a stack. She hits it, but it doesn't fall. Ryuku, hey, I hit that. Izuku, I saw. Random guy, it didn't fall, so you didn't hit it. Ryuku, this thing is rigged. She says as she throws another ball at the stack. It hits it, but it bounces off. Izuku, let me try. He says as he picks a ball up. Random guy. Hee, this guy can't knock them over. The cans are welded together. No one can knock them dash as he says that. Izuku pulls his arm back and tries it at the stack of cans. The ball goes right through them and the stack falls over. Random, down. Ryuku, whoa. How did you do that, Izuku? Izuku, I threw it hard. He says as he takes the plush. Random guy. Hold on now. You can't. Izuku glares down onto the guy, scaring the CRP out of him. Random guy. And never mind. Go ahead, take it. He says as he back away from Izuku. Izuku takes it and gives it to Ryuku. The plush is half her size, and she hugs it. Izuku, why don't we go get something to eat? He says as he holds her shoulder. Ryuku, I like the sound of that. She says as she lays her head against Izuku. As they walk away, the guy is standing there, frozen with fear. Random guy. That guy's not human. He's a demon. He says as he sits on the floor, curled up in a ball. With Izuku and Ryuku, they are eating some funnel cake while walking around. Ryuku, funnel cake is delicious. Izuku, I'm surprised it's this good. He says as he takes another bite. Ryuku, wait, you never ate funnel cake before? Izuku, I don't eat a lot of sweets. Ryuku, well, what have you ate? Izuku, I don't know. Ryuku, what? What do you mean you don't know? Izuku, I haven't eaten sweets in a long time. Ryuku, okay, I'm gonna get you some sweets later, okay? Izuku, okay. Ryuku, good. She says as she hugs Izuku. Izuku sits down, but all of a sudden, they hear a crash and screaming. Ryuku, that doesn't sound good. Izuku, no it doesn't. He says as they both run towards it. They arrive and see a group of creatures attacking people. A creature jumps on a little girl and is about to kill her until Izuku kicks the creature off. The creature flies into a tent, and Ryuku runs next to Izuku. Izuku, Ryuku, get the kid out of here. Ryuku on it, she says as she picks the little girl up. Ryuku, come on, let's get you out of here. Little girl, but what about him? Ryuku, I know he'll be fine. He is very strong, she says as she runs off with the girl. With Izuku, he is facing the creature and it crawls out of the tent. It screeches at Izuku, alerting the other creatures. They all stop attacking and rush over to their friend. All 7 of them are surrounding Izuku. Izuku, these must have been the demons Dad was talking about. He thinks to himself as he inspects them. Izuku, imps. The imps screech at Izuku and all jump at him. Izuku dashes and clothesline one of them. The imp falls to the floor and Izuku stomps its head in. Another one jumps on his back and bites into his shoulder. Izuku grabs the imp and throws it over his shoulder. Another imp comes at Izuku and claws at Izuku's face, but he catches it and breaks its arm off. He kicks it and throws the arm at another imp, stabbing it in the head. 5 imps were left and to jump at Izuku. He dodges one of them and catches the other by its neck. He then snaps its neck and throws it to the side. Another one runs at him, and he then throws a punch at it, and his hand goes through its chest. He tries to pull his hand out, but it's stuck. Izuku, you gotta be kidding me. One of the imps run up to Izuku and slashes the back of his leg. He falls to his knee as another imp jumps on him. Izuku kicks it off, but the three of them jump on Izuku and start slashing at him. Due to all the slashing, he starts to get frustrated and pushes them all off. He stands up and rips his hand out of the torso and cuts himself cause of the rib cage. He then charges at one of the imps, grabbing it by the neck and rips its head off along with its spine. An imp jumps at him from behind, but Izuku grabs the spine and swings it against the imp. He hits the imp and it falls to the ground. He stomps on its chest, caving it in, and it dies. Izuku looks toward the last imp and sees it trying to run away. Izuku, get that back here, he says as he stomps towards it. It tries to run, but Izuku pulls the arm out of a dead imp's sand, throws it at the imp. It stabs into its leg, and it falls to the floor. Izuku stomps over to it as it tries to crawl away. As he does, Ryuku comes back and sees the carnage. Ryuku, oh my god. She thinks to herself as she walks around. Ryuku, Izuku, where are you? She shouts as she looks around. She hears screeching and runs over to it, and sees Izuku strangling the imp on the floor. He snaps its neck and is breathing heavily. As he stands up, he hears Ryuku running over to him. Ryuku, Izuku, are you? As she questions him, he turns around and she sees the damage he's taken. Ryuku, oh my god, Izuku, what happened? She says as she goes up to him. Izuku, I'm okay, he says as he stands up straight. Ryuku, oh my god, Izuku, your shoulder, she says as she looks at his shoulder. Izuku, it's nothing, he says as he takes her hands. Ryuku, but you're missing a chunk of its shoulder. He looks toward it and his shoulder is missing some meat. Izuku, I guess one of them got a piece of me, he says as he holds it. Ryuku, let me fix that for you back at my place. Izuku, but, Ryuku, but nothing, Izuku. Let me help you, okay? Izuku, Ryuku, please, she says as she holds his cheek. Izuku *, fine. Ryuku, good, now come on, she says as she holds Izuku's hand and runs off with him. But before they leave, he grabs the plush that was on the floor and continues to run with her. Izuku, you almost forgot this, he says as he shows her the plush. Ryuku, oh thank you, she says as she takes it. And they continue to run. While he does, people start to show up to the scene and see the bloodshed around. They are horrified by the sight, but kinda relieved as well. They saw what Izuku did and are kinda grateful for his help. Time skip, one more time. I promise, maybe, we see Izuku sitting on a bed while Ryuku is patching Izuku's shoulder up. Ryuku, it's a good thing I went to medical school, she says as she finishes. Ryuku, there you go, all fixed up. Izuku, thank you. Ryuku, you're welcome, Izuku, but what was that back there? Izuku, what was what? Ryuku, Izuku, you killed them. Izuku, they weren't people, they were demons. Ryuku, demons? Izuku, yes. Ryuku, you know, with us having quirks, I kinda believe demons are real. Izuku, yeah, and Rose were the weaker ones. Ryuku, I'm sorry, what? Izuku, there are bigger and stronger ones than the imps. Ryuku, imps? Izuku, imps are what attacked us at the festival. Ryuku, oh, but did you have to be so brutal? Izuku, I show no mercy to my enemies. Ryuku, yeah, I saw that, and I guess I could let it slide, she says as she sits down next to him. Izuku, thank you. Ryuku, yeah, you're welcome. Izuku, so what now? He says as he looks towards her. Ryuku, wanna watch a movie? Izuku, that could work, he says as he stands up. Ryuku, alright, let's go, she says as she takes his hand. Izuku and Ryuku go into the living room, and she sits him on the couch. Ryuku, you find a movie while I get us some popcorn, she says as she goes into the kitchen. Izuku, okay. He picks up the remote and starts to look for movies. Izuku, this looks good, he says as he starts the movie. He pauses it and waits for her. After a while, she comes back and sees Izuku waiting for her. Ryuku, you find a movie to watch? She asks as she sits down next to him. Izuku, Yeah, I haven't seen this one, he says as he shows her the name. Ryuku. Oh, I haven't seen this one either, she says as she leans on him. Izuku then puts his shoulder over her and holds her against him. He then starts the movie and they watch it together. Time skip. This chapter has a lot of them in time skips. This is the last one now. The movie ends and Ryuku is laying on Izuku as his arm is around her waist. Ryuku. That was a good movie. What do you think, Izuku? She says as she looks up. She sees he's asleep and smiles. She moves his arms and gets up. She goes to her room and changes into comfortable clothes. She then takes a blanket from her bed and goes to the living room. She enters the living room and lays back on Izuku with a blanket on top of them. She then feels his arms wrap around her and looks up to him. She gives him a kiss on the cheek and snuggles her head against his chest. She smiles and falls asleep in Izuku's arms. Meanwhile, we see the pro heroes at the festival and they're investigating the dead imps all over the place. Hawks. Geez, whoever did this is really brutal. Midnight. Oh God, it smells, she says as she covers her nose. As they are investigating, Aizawa comes back. Aizawa ****, apparently no one saw who did this. Hawks. Well, this is a good start. Midnight. I'm sure we'll find them. Aizawa. This is going to be a long night, he says as he walks off. We start this chapter off as we see Izuku and Ryuku sleeping together on the couch. Izuku has his arms wrapped around her body as she has her head laying on his chest. But their sleep together is interrupted when a phone starts vibrating on the table. Ryuku wakes up and hears her phone vibrating on her desk. She looks around and sees the desk is behind Izuku. She reaches over to grab it, but can't due to Izuku holding onto her. Ryuku Izuku. She whispers as she shakes his chest. Izuku doesn't wake up as he tightens his grasp on her. As he does, she falls back onto his chest. She sighs as she looks up to Izuku. Ryuku. Izuku, please, I gotta get my phone, she says as she holds his face with her hand. Izuku can feel her hands and lets go of her. She sits up on Izuku's stomach and grabs her phone from her desk. She then reads who's calling her and answers it. Ryuku. Hello. Mariko. Hey Ryuku. Just calling to see how you're doing. Ryuku. Mariko. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Mariko. Yeah. Ryuku ***, I was asleep. Mariko. Oh right, sorry. Ryuku. It's okay, but is there something else you want to tell me? Or did you just call to see how I'm doing? Mariko. Oh right. Well, I needed to tell something about yesterday. Ryuku. Okay, what was it? Mariko. Well, it's about yesterday. As Ryuku moves off of Izuku's and sits on the couch to listen to Mariko, Izuku sits up and rubs his eyes. Ryuku. What happened yesterday? As she continues to talk to Mariko, Izuku looks around and sees that it's still a bit dark. Mariko. You don't know? There was a massacre at the fair. Ryuku. Oh really? What happened? Izuku looks toward Ryuku and sees she's talking to someone on the phone. He goes up to her and hugs her from behind. Ryuku smiles as she holds Izuku's hand that's wrapped around her waist. Mariko. Well, we're not sure what happened, but there was BLD and bodies everywhere. As she continues to talk on the phone, Izuku gives her a kiss against her neck. She blushes as she feels his lips against her neck. Ryuku. Wow, that sounds horrible. Mariko. I know, and we're having a meeting with the other heroes later. As she is on the phone, Izuku then begins to make out with her neck. Ryuku is trying really hard to keep in her moans. Ryuku. Oh, thanks for letting me know, she says as she breaths heavily. Mariko. Anytime, but are you okay? You sound like you just finished running a marathon. Ryuku. Why, yeah, I'm fine, as she tries to talk, Izuku bites on her neck a bit, and she lets out a small mmm. Ryuku. Mariko. Was that a Moa dash? Ryuku. Okay, gotta go by now, she says as she ends the call. Ryuku has a huge blush on her face, and she looks towards Izuku. Ryuku, why did you do that? She asks him as she covers her face. Izuku. Sorry, I couldn't resist, he says as he hugs her. Ryuku. That was so embarrassing. Izuku. So, who were you talking to? Ryuku. That was my best friend. she says as she has her face in his shoulder. Izuku. Oh, well, what did they tell you? Ryuku. She told me I have a meeting later. Izuku. Oh, do you have to go now? Ryuku. No, I don't think so. Usually it's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Izuku, good? He says as he lays down with her on top of him. Izuku. That means I don't have to leave. He says as she kisses her on the cheek. Ryuku asterisk, sigh asterisk, yeah. She says as she kisses him on the lips. Ryuku. But don't ever do that again. Izuku. Okay. He says as he kisses her on the lips. She smiles as she kisses him back. He holds her waist as he deepens the kiss. She then holds his face with her hands, and she could feel Isuku slip his tongue in. This causes her to blush as he sits up with her. He has her sitting on his lap, and she wraps her arms around his neck. He then slides his hands in her shorts and holds her butt. She blushes as she could feel Izuku squeeze her butt. Ryuku. Izuku, she says his name as she breaks the kiss. He then kisses her neck, and she lets out a soft mmm. Ryuku. Oh wow. She holds his head against her neck. Izuku then begins to move lower to her chest as he continues to kiss her neck. He kisses her collarbone, and she lets go of Izuku. Ryuku. And not here, she says as she gets off of him. She takes his hand and leads him to her bedroom. She enters the room with him and locks the door. She sits him on the bed and begins to take her shirt off. She sits down on Izuku's lap, and Izuku holds her waist. She holds his head against her chest, and he begins to kiss her chest. She blushes as she can feel Izuku kiss her chest. She bites her lip as she closes her eyes and enjoys the pleasure. As Izuku kisses her chest, he slides his hand in her shorts and rubs her area. She jumps as she feels his hand rub her area. He stops kissing her chest, and she bites on Izuku's shirt. She tries to hold in her moans, and Isuku her head. He stops rubbing her area and lifts her by her butt. He sits her on the bed and takes her shorts off. She is embarrassed as she is wearing nothing but her panties. Izuku gets on the bed with her and lifts her legs. She covers her face with her pillow as she is super embarrassed. Izuku kisses her then and slowly makes his way to her area. As soon as his tongue reaches her area, she blushes hard and bites her pillow. She arches her back as Izuku lifts her up by her thighs. She moans in her pillow and bites so HRD on it that she tears the pillow with her sharp teeth. With nothing to cover her moans, all she can do is just let out her moans as Izuku continues to please her. Before this goes on any further, Izuku stops as he slowly lets her legs down. Ryuku. Izuku. She's confused why. Izuku stopped and looks towards him. Izuku, is it okay if we go further? He asks as he is on top of her. Ryuku. I don't think I'm ready. I'm sorry. She says as she covers her face. Ryuku. I'm sorry, Izuku. She was worried Izuku would get mad, but it was quite the opposite. Izuku. That's okay, I understand. Ryuku. Oh, really? Izuku. Yeah, I guess we were moving too fast. Ryuku. I thought you would get mad. Izuku, why would I be mad? Ryuku. Because I didn't, please you. Izuku. Ryuku. He says as he holds her cheek. Izuku. I don't care about that. I just want to do what makes you happy. He says as he rubs her cheek with his thumb. Ryuku. Oh, really? Izuku, yes. He says as he gets up. Izuku. Come on, let's get washed up. He says as he picks her up. Ryuku holds onto Izuku as he goes to the bathroom with her in his arms. And they both go to take a shower together. Time skip. We see Izuku and Ryuku in front of his house. Izuku, we are here. He says as they both walk up to the front door. Ryuku. So, the two girls you told me about live here? Izuku, Ryuku. How come you didn't tell me you were dating with two girls? Izuku. You didn't ask, and they did tell me to let you know. Ryuku. Well, if they're okay with it, then so am I. Izuku. That's good to know. He says as he opens his front door. He goes inside with Ryuku and closes the door. Ryuku. This place looks comfy. Izuku, thanks. He says as he walks in the living room with Ryuku. He looks around and notices a note on the table. He picks it up and reads it. Sorry, we took Eri shopping with us. We'll be back soon. Love you. Mika heart suit. Izuku. Why didn't they just text me? Ryuku. I guess no one's here? Izuku. Yeah. They said they went to shopping. Ryuku. Well, what do you want to do? Izuku. Do you know how to cook? Ryuku. I dabble. Izuku. Do you think you could teach me? Ryuku. Oh sure, I would love to reach you. She says as she gets in front of Izuku. Izuku, okay, let's go. He says as he goes to his kitchen. Ryuku follows him, and they end up in the kitchen. Izuku takes the cooking robes and gives one to Ryuku. Izuku puts it on his robe and ties it around his waist. As he is done, he turns around and sees Ryuku struggling. Izuku, do you need help? Ryuku, yes please. Izuku goes behind her, ties it for her. Ryuku, thank you. Izuku, Ryuku, now what should we start on? Izuku, how about Katsuden? Ryuku, oh, I think we can do that. She says as she turns around. Ryuku, all right, let's get started. Izuku, okay. Time skip. They both have fun making Katsuden together. Even though Izuku was struggling, he had help from Ryuku. She guided him through the steps, and he enjoyed having her help him. After some time, they finally finished making Katsuden. Ryuku, it looks good, but how does it taste? She asked Izuku. Izuku does a taste test, and he likes it. Ryuku, it's good? Izuku, he says as he takes a few more bites out of it. Ryuku, wow, you really like Katsuden. Izuku, I do. I used to eat this a lot when I was a kid. Ryuku, wait, used to? Izuku, it reminded me of things I'd rather forget. Ryuku, oh, I'm sorry. Izuku, it's okay. As he says that, he hears the front door open. Izuku, I think they're back. He says as he takes his cooking robe off. He sees Eri run in, and she sees him. Eri, Papa's back, she says as she runs to him. Izuku holds his arms out to her, and she runs into his arms. He lifts her up and hugs her as he has a small smile on his face. As they are hugging each other, Ryuku stares at them in shock. Ryuku, wait, isn't that Eri? She thinks to herself. Ryuku, wait, if that kid is here, then that means the guy that has her is. She thinks to herself as she looks towards Izuku. Ryuku, Izuku, Mika, oh hi. You must be the girl he was talking about. She says as her and Kiyoka walk up to her. Ryuku, yeah, it's nice to meet you. She says as she extends her hand towards Mika for a handshake. Mika takes her hand and shakes it, and as she does, Kiyoka is surprised. Kiyoka, no way, you're the dragon hero. She says to Ryuku. Ryuku, why yeah, that's me. She says as she rubs the back of her head. Kiyoka, I didn't know Izuku was dating a pro hero. Mika, neither did I. Ryuku, well, it's nice to meet you. She says as she takes her cooking robe off. Ryuku, well, I should get going. I have a meeting with the other heroes. You know how it is. She says as she begins to walk to the front door. Izuku, are you leaving? Ryuku, yeah, I really gotta go. She says as she begins to leave. Eri, who is she, Papa? Izuku, oh, she's a hero. Eri, oh, a hero? Ryuku, yeah, I'm that dragon hero. Eri, the dragon hero? Ryuku, yeah, I can turn into a giant dragon. Eri, wow, that's so cool. Izuku, it is. He says as he picks Eri up. Izuku, I'll see you later, Ryuku. He says as he gives her a kiss on the cheek. Ryuku, why yeah, see ya. She says as she rushes out the door. Izuku, guess she found out. He says as he goes to the living room. Izuku, Mika, Izuku, Izuku, Kiyoka, Izuku, Izuku, Kiyoka and Mika, Izuku, Izuku, Kiyoka, you okay? We called you like twice. Izuku, sorry, I'm just thinking of things. Mika, about what? Izuku, it's nothing. Kiyoka, you sure? Izuku, yes. He says as he sits on the couch with Eri. Eri, let's watch SpongeBob. Izuku, that sounds nice. He says as he puts on SpongeBob. As Izuku and Eri are watching SpongeBob, Mika and Kiyoka look towards each other. They are both worried about Isuku. Time skip. We see Ryuku sitting with the other heroes looking pretty nervous. Mariko. All right, what's this meeting about, Naitai? She says as she is leaning back on the chair. Naitai, this is about what happened last night. Aizawa. You mean the massacre? Naitai, yes. Midnight. What did you find? Night-eye. Well, after asking a lot of people that were at the festival, one of them watched what happened. MT Lady. Did they see who it was? Night-eye. Yes, they didn't know his name, but knew what he looked like. Ryuku. OCRP. Night-eye. They were able to describe what he looked like, and were even able to give me a drawing. He says as he takes it out of a case he brought with him. Ryuku. OF. Night-eye. They told me that he has green hair, emerald eyes, freckles on his cheeks, and they also described that he is very big and muscular. Damn. Mariko. Whoa, he looks strong. Ryuku. Flushed face midnight. Smirking facey kinda hot. Hawks. How did they have the time to draw this? Night-eye. They told me it's their quirk, but now we know who it was, and I was able to identify his name. Ryuku. This is bad. Wait, why am I worried? She asks herself. Ryuku. I'm supposed to be taking him in, it's my job. She tells herself, as she is looking down. Ryuku. But, why does this feel wrong? As she is thinking to herself, Night-eye tells the pros Izuku's name. Night-eye. His name is Isuku Midoriya, and I remember correctly. He was the kid that went missing months ago. Mariko. DMN the kid has changed. Do we know where he lives? Night-eye. After some research, he could be living around here. He says as he shows them the area on a map. Mariko. Well, let's start searching for him. She says as she gets up. The other heroes agree as they get out of their seats. Ryuku. I'm sorry, but I can't help you guys with the search. Mariko. What? Why? Ryuku. It's about family matters. Mariko. Why did you say it like a question? Ryuku. No reason. Mariko. All right. She says as the heroes begin to leave. Mariko. But before I go, what happened this morning? Ryuku. What do you mean? Mariko. On our call you legit MMM. Ryuku. That was my Yua boyfriend. Mariko. Wait, you have a boyfriend? Ryuku. Why yeah. Mariko. Why didn't you tell me about him? She asks as she shakes her by her shoulders. Ryuku. Why you never asked? Mariko. Oh, right, I never did ask. She says as she stops shaking her. Mariko. Well, when can I meet him? Ryuku. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. Mariko. Well, let me know when I can meet him. She says as she begins to leave. Mariko. I'll see you tomorrow. She says as she runs off. Ryuku. Why yeah, see ya. She waves to her. Ryuku. I gotta warn Isuku. She thinks to herself as she pulls her phone out. Meanwhile, Isuku, Eri, Mika, and Kiyoka are sitting on the couch, watching SpongeBob as usual. As they are, Isuku gets a call from Ryuku. Isuku. I'll be right back. He says as he gets up off the couch. He leaves the living room and goes to the kitchen. He answers the call and goes to grab a cup of water. Isuku. Hey Ryuku. He says as he drinks from his cup of water. Ryuku. Isuku, are you there? She shouts on the phone. Isuku takes his phone away from his ear. Isuku. Yes, you don't have to scream. Now what's wrong? He asks as he drinks for his cup again. Ryuku. They found out where you live. Isuku. What? Ryuku. You gotta get out of there. Isuku. F. Okay, thanks for the warning. He says as he leaves the kitchen in a hurry. Ryuku. You're welcome and be careful. All Might's gonna be there too. Isuku. All Might. Ryuku. Yes, please be careful, Isuku. Isuku. I will. She says as he hangs up. The girls see Isuku rushing towards them. Mika. Isuku, what's wrong? Isuku. The heroes know where I am. He says as he picks Eri up. Kiyoka, what do you mean? Are you in trouble or something? Isuku. You could say I'm a vigilante. He says as he rushes to his room with Eri. Mika and Kiyoka, what? They shout as they get up. Isuku opens his room door and goes to his dresser. He opens a drawer and takes a device out. He pushes a button and a screen hovers above it. Isuku, come on. On the screen, Izuku's dad shows up. Doom guy, Isuku, what's wrong? Isuku. The heroes found my location, Dad. Doom guy. OSHHHH. Doom guy realizes Eri is with Isuku and almost curses. Doom guy. Shoot. Don't worry, son. I'll get the portal open. Isuku. Thanks, Dad. He says as he hangs up. Eri. Papa, what's wrong? Izuku. It's nothing, Eri. We're just gonna go visit Grandpa. Eri, really? Izuku, uh-huh. Eri, yay. As she says that, the girls go into Izuku's room. Kiyoka. Izuku, can you please explain what's going on? Izuku. There's no time. He says as a red portal opens in front of him. And in the portal comes out Doom Guy. Doom Guy. Vegas says the heroes are close. We don't have much time. He says as Izuku gives Eri to him. Izuku. That's not good. Doom Guy. And who are these girls? Izuku. Right, this is Kiyoka and Mika. Doom Guy. It's a pleasure to meet you girls. Mika. Well, it's nice to meet you too. She says with a smile. Kiyoka. It's nice to meet you as well, but what is going on? Izuku. The heroes are after me because I'm a vigilante. Kiyoka. Well, what did you do? Izuku. I saved Eri from someone. Doom Guy. Don't forget about these demons you killed. Izuku, right? Mika. Demons? Izuku. I'll explain later, but right now, we gotta go. Kiyoka. But why? Izuku. If the heroes find you with me, then they'll think you're helping me. Mika. He does have a point. Doom Guy. We don't have a lot of time. We should get going. He says as he walks through the portal with Eri in his arms. Kiyoka. Come on, Izuku. Izuku. I'll be right there. He says as he geese to his closet. Izuku. I just need to take care of something real quick. Mika. Just be careful, Izuku. She says as her and Kiyoka go through the portal with them. Izuku. Yeah, I will. He says as the portal closes. He moves his clothes out of the way and sees the screen with a handprint on it. He puts his hand on it and it says, Access granted. It opens and he sees his armor and his weapon sitting there. Izuku. It's time to see my favorite hero again. He says as he put this armor on. Meanwhile, after the heroes have looked everywhere in the search area, we see them standing in front of Izuku's house. Hawks. All right. How are we going to do this? All Might. Simple, we knock. He says as he goes to the front door. All Might. Hello, is anyone here? He asks as he knocks on the door. All Might. If you can hear us, the best thing you can do right now is surrender. We will not hesitate to beat your A. The building blows up in All Might's face, interrupting him. The heroes are shocked as they take over. As the house is destroyed, we see Izuku walk out of the on-fire building like a badass he is. The heroes see him and get in their battle stance. Hawks, something tells me we're F. Izuku. You are? He says as he cocks his shotgun. News reporter. We are currently watching our best heroes fight a villain or possibly a vigilante from the sky. She says she is in a helicopter watching the heroes and Izuku about to fight with a cameraman. Izuku dashes at the heroes as he dashes at Izuku. Endeavor throws a punch, but Izuku dodges under it and uppercuts him in the jaw. Endeavor falls back and Izuku stomps on his chest. He goes to shoot him in the face until Mariko kicks Izuku in the back. Izuku falls forward, allowing Endeavor to get up. Endeavor. I didn't need your help. Mariko. That's not what it looked like. She says as she dashes at Izuku. Izuku gets up and sees Mariko jump at him. She goes to kiss Izuku in the face, but he catches her leg. He throws her to the side and sees Hawks dash at him with a sword-like feather. Hawks slashes at Izuku, but he blocks it as he uses the blade in his gauntlet to block it. Izuku pushes Hawks away and slashes Hawks in the face. Hawks, my face. He says as he holds his face with one hand. Izuku kicks him in the chest as he is distracted and aims his shotgun at his face. Izuku, I know a lot about you heroes, especially if I should kill you. He thinks to himself as he notices the other heroes going to help Hawks. Izuku, and you are S true hero. He thinks to himself as he aimed the shotgun away from Hawks. Endeavor shoots flames at Izuku and Hawks. Izuku notices and picks Hawks up and jumps out of the way of the flames, barely dodging it. Mariko. Endeavor, what the hell are you doing? Midnight. You could have hit Hawks. Endeavor. I had an opening and I took it. It's not my fault if he was in the way. He says as he shoots more flames at Izuku. Izuku dodges the flames again with Hawks over his shoulder. Hawks is just over his shoulder wondering why Izuku is saving him. Hawks. Why are you trying to save me? Izuku. I don't kill heroes, only the fake ones. he says as he dodges another flame blast. Mariko and Midnight are trying to stop Endeavor, but it's no use. Izuku eventually messes up, and the flame blast is about to hit him. Izuku notices and throws Hawks off of his shoulder. He throws him out of the way of the flame and puts his arms in front of his face. He is engulfed in the flames, but powers through and starts walking towards Endeavor. Endeavor notices Izuku is powering through and increases the heat. Izuku feels it's getting hotter and is getting tired, but he continues to power through. Midnight runs towards Hawks and helps him up. Hawks is standing there watching Izuku power through Endeavor's flames. He can see Izuku getting tired but also getting closer to Endeavor. Hawks wants to stop Izuku from getting closer, but for some reason he doesn't. Endeavor reaches his limit and stops shooting flames at Izuku. They are both exhausted, but Izuku is able to dash at Endeavor. But as he does, Mariko jumps at Izuku and tackles him to the ground. "Mariko, I got him," she says as she is pulling his arm behind his back. Izuku is too tired from the heat to push her off his back, but continues to struggle. Endeavor sees Mariko holding him down and is pretty pissed. Endeavor, "I didn't need help, especially from a woman," he thinks to himself as he slowly stands up. He sticks his hands out and they start to glow with flames. Hawks notices what Endeavor is doing and shouts, "Hawks, Endeavor, stop," he says as he runs towards him. Mariko hears Hawks shout at Endeavor and looks towards him. She sees he's about to blast her with his flames, and Izuku notices as well. Before Hawks could stop Endeavor, it was too late as he blasted Mariko and Izuku with his flames. Right before the flames reach Izuku and Mariko, he pushes Mariko off of his back while she was distracted. He gets in front of her to protect her and is hit by the flames. He blocks the flames and dashes at Endeavor as the flames hits him. Endeavor is too tired to do anything about it, and Izuku's blade comes out of his gauntlet, and he stabs Endeavor in the throat. And the heroes are stand there in shock as they see the number 2 hero stabbed in the throat. Izuku pulls the blade out, and Endeavor falls to his knees as he holds his throat as an attempt to stop the bleeding. Izuku takes a few deep breaths as he watches Endeavor choke on his own BLD. He goes behind Endeavor and grabs him by his hair. "Izuku, I know what you have done to your family, and it disgusts me," he whispers to him as he puts his blade on Endeavor's neck. "Izuku, watch as your hero dies in front of your eyes," he says as he faces Endeavor towards the helicopter, and he cuts Endeavor's head off. Endeavor's headless body falls to the floor, and everyone watches in shock and horror. They just watch the number 2 hero get executed in front of their eyes. Izuku raises Endeavor's head, showing everyone how strong he is. He drops the head and it rolls to the ground and stops on Endeavor's body. The heroes stare at Izuku with horror as they just watch the number 2 hero die in front of them. "Izuku, this is what happens to those fakers," he says as he stares at the heroes. "Izuku, they pretend to be heroes only to hide their crimes they commit when no one is looking. Izuku, I am a Doomslayer, and I will show every faker their doom." As he says that, All Might comes at him from behind. "All Might, Detroit," he shouts as he throws a punch at Izuku. "All Might, smash," he shouts as he punches Izuku with everything he has. But Izuku turns around, his blade comes out of his gauntlet, and he puts the blade in the way of All Might's fist, forcing the blade to go into All Might's fist. The force of the punch pushes Izuku back, and the blade breaks off of his gauntlet. Izuku rolls on the floor, but recovers and stares at All Might. All Might is hunching over as he is holding his fist in pain. The blade is stuck between his knuckles and is inside of his hand. Izuku stands up, slightly leaning forward. "Izuku, be grateful you're not on my kill list," he says as he puts his shotgun away. A red portal then opens behind Izuku, and All Might watches Izuku as he is holding his fist in pain. "Izuku, it took the number 1 hero a blade to the fist to put him out of commission," he says as he turns around. "Izuku, pathetic," he says as he begins to leave through the portal. "All Might, wait," he shouts towards Izuku, but he ignores All Might and goes through the portal. The portal closes, leaving the heroes defeated. All Might stares towards the headless Endeavor corpse and is upset. "All Might, I failed," he says as he falls to his knees and stares to the ground in shame. Meanwhile, we see Izuku walk through the portal and ends up on a ship in space. As he takes his helmet off, he is greeted by his dad. Doom guy, I saw what you did on the news. That was impressive, son. He says as he puts his arm over his shoulder. Isuku, thanks, Dad, but I'm not as strong as you. He says as he gets his helmet off. Doom guy, maybe, but you're still pretty good, especially with that blade in your gauntlet. Isuku, yeah, but it broke off. He says as he is gauntlet towards Doom guy. Doom guy, DM in, we can get that fixed though. Isuku, okay, let me just get this off. He says as he walks away to his room to change. After he changes, he gives the armor to Doom guy. Doom guy, I'll get this fixed. You go see how Eri is doing. Isuku, all right, thanks, Dad. He says as they both walk away. Doom guy, MHM, and they both leave to do their own things. After walking around to find Eri, he finds her staring out the window. Isuku, hey Eri. Eri hears Isuku and turns around. Eri, Papa's back, she says as he runs towards her. Isuku crouches down and holds his arms out to her. She jumps in his arms, and he catches her. Eri, where were you, Papa? Isuku, I was just dealing with something. What were you doing? Eri, I was staring out the window. It looks appealing, she says as she points towards the window. Isuku, it is appealing, isn't it? Eri, yeah, but what is it called? Isuku, it's called Space, Eri. Eri, why is it called space? Isuku, that's because it looks very empty. Eri, is it? Isuku, no, there are probably billions of planets out there. Eri, whoa. Eri is fascinated by space as she stares out the window. Isuku, do you see those shiny dots in space? Eri, yeah, they look pretty. Isuku, they're called stars, and they are pretty, aren't they? Eri, yeah, she says as they both continue to stare out in space together. Isuku, I'm sure the girls could explain it better than I can. Speaking of the girls, where are they? Eri, I saw them go over there. She points behind Isuku. He turns around as sees she's pointing down a hallway. Isuku, I guess they went to the guest room. He says as he puts Eri down. Isuku, why don't you go and explore the place a bit? I'll be right back. He says as he walks away. Eri, okay, Papa, she says as she runs off. Isuku walks down the hallway towards the guest room and sees the door open. He goes in and sees the girls sitting on the bed, watching TV together. Both of the girls notice Isuku in the room and get off the couch quickly. Mika, oh, you're okay, she says as she hugs him. Kiyoka, we were so worried about you. Are you hurt? Isuku, no, I'm fine, he says as he hugs them back. Mika, we saw what happened on the news and we got worried, she says as the three break the hug. Kiyoka, and what you did to Endeavor. Isuku, oh, he says as he rubs the back of his head. Isuku, I'm sorry. Mika, what were you thinking? Kiyoka, and what did you mean when you called him a faker? Isuku, I guess I should really explain, he says as he sits on the bed. Isuku, the reason I called him a faker should sound pretty obvious. Kiyoka, you mean what was a fake hero? Isuku, yes. Mika, wait, how did you find out? Isuku, that is something I need to show you, he says as he gets up off the bed. Isuku, follow me, he says as he leaves the room. THR girls follow him as he walks toward a room in the hallway. He opens the door and walks in with the girls. Kiyoka, it's so dark in here, I can't see a thing. Isuku, hold on a sec, he says as he goes to turn on the lights. He turns the lights on, revealing a room full of photos and files of heroes and other random people. The room's kinda messy as the floor has a bunch of papers scattered all over the floor. Mika, what is this place? Isuku, this is where I do my research on the heroes or other random people, he says as he picks the paper off of the floor. Isuku, this is how I find those fakers, he says as he puts the stack of papers on the desk. Isuku, an Endeavor was a faker, he says as he goes to a file cabinet. He opens it and takes a file out of it. Isuku, here, this will explain you question, he says as he gives it to Mika. Isuku, now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go get cleaned up, he says as he walks out of the room. Isuku, be sure to close the door when you leave, he says as he leaves. As Isuku leaves, Mika opens the file showing a photo of Endeavor. They both read together and find out what Endeavor did to be killed by Isuku, and they discover that Endeavor abused his family. He trained his youngest son Shoto Todoroki like a soldier. He abused his wife, Rei Todoroki, and she eventually had a mental breakdown, causing her to pour hot water on Shoto's face, leaving a scar on the left side of his face. Endeavor then sent his wife to a mental hospital and has been there for the past 10 years. And since then, Endeavor has continued to train Shoto to become the strongest hero to surpass All Might. After the girls have finished reading the file, they are shocked that Endeavor did something like this. Kiyoka, that is really messed up. Mika, no child should go through this much pain, she says as she puts the file on the desk. Kiyoka, I wonder how Isuku found out about this. Mika, we could ask him later. For now, let's just wait for him to finish. Kiyoka, all right, she says as they both leave the room, closing the door as they leave. Time skip. We see Isuku sitting on the bed watching TV with Eri, Mika, and Kiyoka. As they are watching TV, Isuku gets a text on his phone. He checks who it's from, and it's from Ryuku. He checks the message, and it says, Ryuku, we need to talk. Isuku, that doesn't sound good. He gets off of the bed, which catches Mika's and Kiyoka's attention. Kiyoka, is something wrong? Isuku, no, it's Ryuku. She says she wants to talk. He says as he begins to leave the room. Mika, okay, don't take too long, Isuku. Isuku, I won't. He says as he leaves. He closes the door and goes to his investigation room. Once he enters, he closes the door and calls Ryuku. After a while, she answers. Ryuku, Isuku, do you have any idea what you done? Isuku, yes, I'm fully aware of what I did. Ryuku, you just killed the number 2 hero. Isuku, I'm not worried about it. Ryuku, Isuku, they know what you look like. Isuku, Ryuku, **, look, I'm a hero. I can't let you kill people like this. Isuku, but I have to. Ryuku, no you don't, Isuku. You could bring them to justice the right way. Just stop killing them. Isuku, I'm doing it my way, Ryuku, and that's to kill those fakers. Ryuku, Isuku, Ryuku, fine, you can do it your way, but I can't be with someone who kills people. Isuku, what are you saying? Ryuku, I'm saying we're done. Isuku, what? Ryuku, Isuku, I really do like you, but it doesn't feel right to be with someone who kills. I'm sorry. She says as she sounds like she's crying. Isuku, why? Before Isuku could explain his reason for killing Endeavor, she hangs up. Isuku just stands there as his arm drops with the phone still in his hand. Isuku, did she really? He thinks to himself as he tries to call Ryuku again. He hears the ringing, but after a while his call is denied. Isuku, she really did. The phone slips out of his hand, and he just stands there. As he is standing there, he feels the tears go down his cheeks. He wipes his eyes with his arm and picks his phone up. Isuku, I really F up, didn't I? He says as he leaves the investigation room. He goes back to the girls and sees that Eri is asleep. Kiyoka, so what did she want to talk to you about? She asks as her and Mika realize Isuku looks upset. Mika, Isuku, are you okay? Kiyoka, you look like you've been crying. Isuku, I'm fine, I'm just tired. Mika, oh, well then I guess we should get some rest then. Kiyoka, that sounds nice right about now. Izuku, yes, he says as he gets on the bed with the girls. He picks Eri up and lays her on his chest as they girls cuddle with Izuku. Kiyoka, by the way, what did you two talk about? Izuku, it's nothing important. She was just checking on me. Kiyoka, all right then, she says as she kisses Izuku on the cheek. Kiyoka, good night, Izuku, she says as Mika kisses him on the other cheek. Mika, good night as well, Izuku. Izuku, yeah, good night, he says as he holds the girls in his arms. And they fall asleep together. Meanwhile, we see Ryuku laying in her bed. She is still awake and looks like she's been crying. She really did love Izuku, but as a hero, it was her duty to protect people. She thinks she did the right thing, but feels like she made a mistake. Ryuku, I'm so sorry, Izuku. I hope you understand, she says as she still has a few tears in her eyes. She feels tired and closes her eyes. After some time, she eventually falls asleep. Meanwhile, we see Hawks as he is staring at Endeavor's dead body. It's covered up with a big white cloth. The heroes and other people already left since it was getting late, but for some reason Endeavor's family never came. Hawks, I don't understand. Sure, Endeavor was kind of and but whole, but he didn't deserve to die for it. Right? He asked himself. Hawks, what did Endeavor do to get killed? He asks himself as he rubs his eyes. Hawks, I guess there's only one way to find out. He says as he begins to leave the room. Hawks, I gotta find that Midoriya guy. If he killed Endeavor, then he must have the answer for why, right? He says as he opens the door. Hawks, then again, he could probably kill me. Hawks, let's hope it's worth it. He says as he leaves. We see Isuku working in his investigation room. Right now, he is focusing on a group of drag dealers. He is close to finding their hideout, but is kinda stuck. Isuku, He holds his chin as he stares at the clipboard full of yarn and photos. Isuku, oh wait a minute, he says to himself as he messes with the yarn. He pins the strings of yarn to a picture and figures something out. Isuku, if I could find him, then I could find the hideout. He says as he leaves the investigation room. He closes the door and walks to the living room. Izuku, Vega. Vega. Yes, Izuku? Izuku, can you locate hashtag. Couldn't think of a name. Please forgive me as I lack the imagination to think of one. Folded hands, Vega. I can, but it will take some time. Izuku. Okay, thanks, Vega. He thanks Vega as he sits on the couch. As he sits down, he rubs his eyes and lets out a tired sigh. Vega, you seem rather stressed, Izuku. Izuku, I'm not. Vega, that is a lie, Izuku. Izuku, oh yeah? How can you tell? Vega, as soon as you sat down, he rubbed your eyes and let out a big sigh. That usually indicates that you're stressed. Izuku, no proof. Vega, I'm an AI, Izuku. I know everything. Izuku, fine, maybe I am a bit stressed. Vega, may I give you a suggestion to help you relax? Izuku, sure. Vega, why don't you spend time with your daughter? I noticed you haven't been spending a lot of time with your daughter. Izuku, I haven't been around with Eri a lot. I guess I should. Vega, glad to be of an assistance, Izuku. I'll let you know when I find his location. Izuku, thanks, Vega. He says as he walks away to find Eri. He goes to the guest room and finds Eri watching cartoons. Izuku, hey, sweetie, how are you doing? Eri, hi, Papa, I'm doing okay. Izuku, that's good to hear. He says as he sits down next to her. Izuku, hey, Eri, I know we haven't been spending a lot of time together, so today I was thinking we could spend the day together. Eri, really? Izuku, Eri, yay. She says as she hugs Izuku. Izuku, all right, so what do you want to do? Eri, oh, I know a game we could play. Izuku, really, what's it called? Eri, I think it's called hide and seek. Izuku, okay, you go hide and I'll count. Eri, okay. She says as she jumps off the bed. Eri, no peeking. She says before she runs out. Izuku, I won't. He says as he covers his eyes. While Izuku is counting, we see Eri looking for a spot to hide. Eri, where can I hide? She asks herself as she looks around the living room. Eri, maybe under the couch? She says as she looks under the couch. Eri, I don't think I can fit. She says as she gets up. Izuku, I'm coming, Eri. Eri, oh no, Papa's coming. She says to herself. She looks around and sees a good spot. Eri, there, Papa won't be able to find me up there. She says as she goes to the spot. After a while, we see Izuku enter the room. Izuku, all right, where are you? He says as he looks around. He looks around the living room, but can't find her anywhere. Izuku, maybe she went to one of the rooms. He tells himself as he leaves the living room. But he stops in his tracks as he hears someone giggling. Izuku, Eri. He turns around, but doesn't see her. But he then hears her laugh again, and it sounds like she is above him. He looks up and finds Eri hanging from the chandelier. Izuku, I found you. Eri, on no fair. Izuku, how did you get up there? Eri, I forgot. Izuku, okay, jump down, I'll catch you. Eri, okay. She says as she jumps off of the chandelier. Izuku catches her, but crashes in the couch with her in his arms. He lands on the couch and bounces up a bit, and just lays on the couch with Eri. Ha, let's do it again. She says as she is laughing in Izuku's arms. Izuku, and maybe later. He says as he sits up. Eri, okay, it's your turn to hide. She says as she gets out of Izuku's arms. Izuku. Okay, go count in the room, okay. Eri, okay. She says as she runs off. Izuku. This is going to be a tough one. He says as he looks around for a spot to hide in. Eri, I'm coming, Papa. She says as Izuku hears her running towards him. Izuku. No way she counted that fast. Izuku. CRP, CRP, CRP. He looks around and finds a very terrible spot. Izuku. It's the only way, he says as he goes to hide. After a while, Eri starts looking for Izuku. She looks around, but it doesn't take her long to find her papa, as his hiding spot isn't the best one. Eri just stares at Izuku, and he notices she found him. Izuku. Eri. Izuku. You found me, didn't you? Eri. Yeah. You're not really good at this game, Papa. Izuku. Well, it's hard for a big guy like me to find the perfect hiding spot. Eri. It's okay, Papa. At least you tried. She says as she hugs his leg. Izuku. Thanks, Eri. He says as he pets her head. Izuku. So what do you want to do now? Eri, oh, I know. She says as she takes Izuku's hand. She drags him back to the guest room, and when they arrive, Eri lets Izuku's hand go. She runs over to a counter and opens it, revealing a box of markers and sheets of paper. Eri, we can draw together. She says as she takes the markers and sheets of paper out. Izuku drawing. Eri, Izuku, all right then. He says as he sits on the bed. Eri, yay. She says as she jumps on the bed and sits up with Izuku. And they both begin to draw together. Time skip. We see Hawks standing in front of the Todoroki's home. Since the family wasn't at the hospital like he was wondering why they didn't show up. Hawks. Maybe they were busy with something, or they just couldn't make it, I don't know. He thinks to himself as he approached the door. Hawks, I should check on them, just to make sure they're okay. He thinks to himself as he knocks on the door. Ray coming. He hears on the other side of the door. As he is waiting, he fixes his clothes and his hair. The door opens and is greeted with a smile on Fuyumi's face, which catches Hawks by surprise. Hawks, why is she smiling? Fuyumi. Hey, you're Hawks, right? Hawks, yeah, I was working with him. Fuyumi, it's nice to meet you. She says as she extends her hand out. Hawks, yeah, it's nice to meet you too. He says as he shakes her hand. Fuyumi, so what brings you here? Hawks, I just came to check on Endeavor's family. I'm sorry about your loss. I know it must be very hard to deal with such a loss. Fuyumi, it's okay. We don't really feel upset about it at all, actually. Hawks, wait, what? Fuyumi, yeah, we're not really upset about it. We're actually grateful Doomslayer killed him. Hawks, I don't understand. You're glad Endeavor is dead? Fuyumi, yup. Hawks, why did she say that so calmly? Hawks, WY. Fuyumi, how about we talk about this inside? It's kind of cold out here, don't you think? Hawks, all right. He says as Fuyumi lets him inside. He goes inside, and Fuyumi closes the door. Fuyumi, go ahead and take a seat in the living room. Hawks, all right. He says as he sits down in the living room. Fuyumi, would you like anything to drink? Hawks, a cup of water would be nice. Fuyumi, okay, give me a moment. She says as she goes to the kitchen. Hawks looks around while he waits for Fuyumi. He notices it's pretty quiet and is wondering if Fuyumi is the only one here. Hawks, hey, Fuyumi, Fuyumi. Hawks, right, Fuyumi. Are you the only one here? Fuyumi, yeah. My brothers went to go get Mom out of the mental hospital. Hawks, mental hospital? Why is your mom there? Fuyumi, it's cause of our wonderful dad. Hawks, you mean Endeavor? What did he do? Fuyumi, he sent her to the mental hospital cause she threw hot water on my brother Shoto's face. Hawks, dang, I didn't know that. But why do you hate him so much? He asks as Fuyumi enters the living room with a cup of water. Fuyumi, here, let me explain. She says as she gives Hawks tea cup of water and sits down. Hawks, okay, and thanks for the water. He says as he takes a drink. Fuyumi, you're welcome. Now the reason we hate our dad is because he abused us since we were kids. Hawks, he what? Fuyumi, including our mom. Hawks, oh my God. Why didn't you tell anyone about this? Fuyumi, he threatened to kill us if we did, just like he did to Toya. Hawks, Toya. Fuyumi, he was our oldest brother before he died. Hawks, so Endeavor killed Toya. Fuyumi, yeah, to him we were expandable, but Shot was special, Endeavor wanted him to surpass All Might, but Shoto likes All Might. He looked up to him when he was a kid, but Endeavor hated All Might, and when he found out Shoto liked All Might more than his own father, he started to train him, and when me or my brother and mom tried to stop Endeavor, he would hit us for getting in the way of Shoto's training. Hawks, my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't know he did this to you. Fuyumi, it's okay. You had no idea, no one did. Hawks, so that's why you're glad Endeavor is dead. You're free now. Fuyumi, yes, and we are grateful for the Doomslayer. We want to thank him, but we don't know where he is. Hawks, I was actually looking for him to find out why he killed Endeavor, but now I know why. Fuyumi, well, at least you know the truth now. Hawks, yeah. Now that I know, I don't feel so bad about Endeavor anymore. Fuyumi, I'm glad we're on the same page. Hawks, yeah, anyways, I should get going. I got things to do. Fuyumi, are you sure? Why don't you stay for some tea? Hawks, wish I could, but as they say, heroes never rest, right? Fuyumi, hee. Well, then be careful then. She says as Hawks goes to the front door. Hawks, don't worry, I'll be fine, by the way. He says as he opens the front door. Hawks, tell your family I said hi. He says as he leaves the front door and closes it. But then he opens the door again. Hawks, also Endeavor sucks okay, bye. He says as he actually leaves this time. Fuyumi, haha, he seems nice, slightly smiling face. As Hawks is walking, he gets a call. Hawks speaking, what's up? Aizawa, it's the Doomslayer. Get your butt over here now. Hawks, the Doomslayer? Where? Aizawa. He's at hashtag. Now hurry the F up. He shouts on the phone as Hawks moves the phone away from his ear. Hawks on it. He says as he hangs up. He stretches his wings out and jumps high into the air and flies at high speeds towards Aizawa's destination. You're probably wondering why Isuku was fighting Aizawa. Well, I can explain it in a short rewind in time. Rewind. We go back to Isuku and Eri as they finish their drawings. Eri, okay, Papa, I'll show you mine first, she says as you can see the excitement in her eyes. Isuku, okay, he says as she shows her drawing of him and her. It's a sketch of Isuku and Eri holding each other's hand with smiles on their faces. Isuku, wow, this looks amazing, Eri, he says with a small smile. Eri, thank you, Papa. Now show me yours. Isuku, okay, he says as he shows her his drawing. Eri, oh wow. Isuku, do you like it? Eri, yeah, you're so good at drawing, Papa. Isuku, really? Eri, yeah. Isuku, thanks, Eri, he says as he hugs her. Eri, you're welcome, Papa, she says as she hugs Isuku back. Isuku, Vega was right, this is nice. He thinks to himself as he has a small smile on his face with his eyes closed. He just sits there hugging Eri as they both enjoy each other's embrace. Isuku, Eri, I want you to know something. Eri, yes, Papa? Isuku, no matter where I go or whatever happened to me, I want you to know I will always be there for you, no matter what. Eri, really? Isuku, of course, he says as he tightens the hug. Eri, I love you, Papa. Isuku, I love you too, Snowflake, he says as Isuku lays back with Eri in his arms. They both enjoy each other's embrace and have smiles on their face. After a while, Eri falls asleep with the picture still in her hands. Isuku can hear her snoring and lays her on the bed. He takes the markers and sheets of papers and puts them away. He slightly picks Eri up and lays her head on the pillow. He takes Eri's picture out of her hand and places it on the desk. He then covers Eri up with the blanket and fixes her hair. Isuku, how did I get so lucky to find you? He says as he kisses her on the head. As he does, she slightly smiles in her sleep and runs her head against the pillow. He then goes to the door and turns off the light. Isuku, sweet dreams, Eri, he says before leaving the room and closing the door. As he closes the door, he stands there smiling to himself. He's happy that he has someone as sweet as Eri to be Husk's daughter. Vega, Isuku, I have located the man you were looking for. Isuku jumps as HW hears Vega. Isuku, Jesus, you scared me. Vega, sorry. Isuku, it's okay. Now you said you found them. Vega, indeed, he is located here. Vega says as a virtual screen pops up in front of Isuku. It shows the map with a small circle that surrounds a building. Izuku, I see, thanks for the help, Vega. Vega, pleasure to be of assistance. And Izuku goes to get his armor. Izuku, let's see how much he can take before she breaks. He says as he walks through the hallways to get his suit. We see two big guys in front of a building playing Uno together. Thug hashtag 2, +4. He says as he slams a +4 card on the stack of cards. Thug hashtag 1. This game is bullshit. He says as he throws his cards on the table in anger. Thug hashtag 2. No, you're just trash at this game. He says with a smirk. Thug hashtag 1. I'll screw you. He says as he gets up. Thug hashtag 2 asterisk chuckle star. As they are talking, they hear something move in the alleyway next to them. Thug hashtag 2. Did you hear that? Thug hashtag 1. Yeah, go check it out. Thug hashtag 2 what? Why me? Thug hashtag 1. Because you're in but on Uno. Thug hashtag 2. That's a dumb reason. Thug hashtag 1. Just do it. Thug hashtag 2 fine. He says as he gets out of his seat. He walks into the alley and looks around. Thug hashtag 2. Hello? Is anyone here? He asks in the alleyway. Yeah? He says as he jumps out and grabs him by the face. Izuku me? Izuku says as he slams the thug's head into the wall, knocking him out. Thug hashtag 1. Oh, SHD. He says as he backs away from Izuku. Izuku notices the other thing and walks towards him. Thug hashtag 1, W8. He says as he holds his hands in front of him. Izuku stops and stares him down. Thug hashtag 1. Now let's make a deal. He says as he puts his hands down. Thug hashtag 2. Now let's play a game of Uno. If you win, you can kick my butt. If I win, you let me and my friend go, deal? Izuku, fine. He says as he puts his shotgun down. Thug hashtag 1. I didn't actually think he would agree. They both sit down and begin an exciting game of Uno. After some time, Izuku wins and the thug is scared. Phew, before he could finish, Izuku grabs the thug by the neck and chokeslams him through the table. Thug hashtag 1, my spine up, and the thug passes out. Izuku, you FSCK at Uno, he says as he steps over the thug. He opens the front door and sees it's dark inside. He goes inside and looks around. Izuku, maybe he's upstairs. He says as he goes upstairs. Once he's upstairs, he sees a room with its light on. He walks up to it and kicks the door open. He sees a group of thugs playing poker together. The thugs notice him and they all just stare at Izuku. Thugs! Izuku! Thugs, get him! They shout as they all jump at Izuku. Izuku dashes at them and punches one of them in the face. One of the thugs then jump on Izuku from behind, and another one smacks Izuku with a chair, breaking it. Izuku grabs the thug from his back and slams him into one of the thugs. Another thug kicks Izuku, but Izuku catches his leg. Izuku picks him up and body slams him into the table. There's only one thug left standing, and they both just stare at each other. Thug, I'm just gonna go, he says as he tries to leave. Izuku runs at him and tackles him through the wall. As the thug is being held down, he tries to break free by punching Izuku, but Izuku catches his fist and breaks it. Thug, AGHF okay. Okay, you win. He says as Izuku lets him go. The thug holds his broken hand in pain as he rolls on the floor. Izuku, where's hashtag? Thug, H's upstairs, just don't kill me. He says as he tries to crawl away. Izuku, thanks. He says as he walks up to the thug and curb stomps his head off the floor, knocking him out. Izuku walks to the stairs and sees a door with a light shining through the cracks of the door. Izuku walks over to the door and kicks it open. He sees his target holding a shotgun. Random F, get back. I will shoot you, I swear. He says as he aims his shotgun at Izuku. Izuku ignores his warnings as he walks towards his target. He shoots at Izuku, but the bullets don't affect him. Izuku gets closer to his target as he continues shooting at Izuku. Once Izuku is close enough, he grabs the shotgun out of his hand and smacks the SHD out of him with it. The guy falls to the floor, and Izuku tosses the shotgun to the side. Izuku, you're going to answer every question I ask, and if you're wrong, I'll break one of your fingers. He says as he grabs his target and drags him out of the room. He tries to break free, but Izuku smacks his head. Izuku, stop it, he says as he drags him to the roof. They reach the rooftop, and Izuku lifts him over the edge of the roof. Random F. WOH. Whoa, wait, don't drop me, he pleads as he holds onto Izuku's arm. Izuku. Then tell me what I want to know. Random F. Okay, I will. Izuku. Good. Now I know you've been hanging out with a group of drag dealers, so I want you to tell me where they are. Random F. But before the guy could come up with an excuse, Izuku lets go of the guy, and as he falls, Izuku catches him by the leg. Random F. Okay, they're at the docks. Izuku, which one? Random F. Southeast from here. Please don't drop me. Izuku got his information, so as usual he's about to kill him, but remembers what Ryuku said to him when she broke up with him. Ryuku. Izuku, I really do like you, but I can't be with someone who kills people. I'm sorry. As Izuku is thinking, the guy is confused on what Izuku is doing. Random F. So, can you let me go? He says as he is still scared. Izuku asterisk, sighs asterisk. Izuku, I better not regret this, he says as he throws the guy back onto the roof. Izuku, listen here, he says as he walks over to him. Izuku, if I catch you doing this SHD ever again, I will find you and I will kill you, he says as he crouches down to his level. Izuku, understand. Random F. Why yes, he says as he goes to crawl away. Izuku, and just to be sure you keep your promise, he says as he grabs his leg. Random F. Wait, Before he could say anything, Izuku breaks his leg and the guy screams in pain as he holds his broken leg. Izuku, I'll break more than you leg if you break, you promise, got it? Random F. Why yes, I swear I won't, he says as he is crying on the floor. Izuku, good? And Izuku kicks him in the face, knocking him out. Izuku sighs and is about to leave before someone lands behind him. Stop right there, Doomslayer, he says as he stares down Izuku from behind. Izuku turns around and sees Aizawa staring at him. Aizawa, you're under arrest for the murder of Endeavor, he says as he uses his quirk and throws his scarf at Izuku. Izuku puts his arm in the way and cuts the scarf in half. This shocks Aizawa, but he still continues to attack Izuku. Aizawa dashes at Izuku and kicks Izuku in the head. Izuku blocks the kick with his arm and goes to punch Aizawa in the face. Aizawa ducks under it and kicks Izuku in the stomach. Izuku catches his leg and throws Aizawa away. Aizawa rolls on the floor and recovers as pushes himself off the floor and lands on his feet. Aizawa, for a big guy, you're fast. Izuku, you're pretty strong too, especially with that quirk of yours, Shota Aizawa. Aizawa, what? How do you know my name? Izuku, I know a lot about you. Aizawa, it seems that way, he says as he loosens his scarf. Izuku, there is something you should know as well. He puts his gun away. Izuku, your quirk is useless against me. Aizawa, and why is that? Izuku, I'm quirkless, he says as he dashes at Aizawa. Before Aizawa could react, Izuku grabs him and slams him into the floor. Aizawa slips out of Izuku's grasp and pushes Izuku away with his legs. Izuku gets up and goes to stomp on Aizawa's chest, but he rolls out of it. Aizawa gets behind Izuku and kicks the back of Izuku's leg, causing him to fall to his knee. Aizawa kicks Izuku in the head and is getting the upper hand. Izuku, damn it, he's too fast for me. Aizawa then kicks Izuku in the face, causing him to almost fall on his back. Izuku catches himself, and as Aizawa is about to kick him again, Izuku grabs his leg and shoulder tackles him. Aizawa falls to the floor and lands on his back. Aizawa, I'm fast, but I'm not doing any damage. As Aizawa is on the floor, he looks at Izuku and gets an idea. Aizawa, I gotta get that helmet off, he says as he gets back up. Izuku, he's fast but weak. I'll let him strike first and then counter his attacks, he says as he gets in a stance. Aizawa dashes at Izuku and goes to kick him in the face. But Izuku counters his attack and grabs him by the neck. Izuku, I can't deal with you right now. I have somewhere to be right now, he says as he walks over to the edge. As Aizawa is trying to break free, Izuku is holding him over the edge. Izuku, I'm sure you'll survive the fall, You're a hero after all, he says as he throws him off the edge. Aizawa falls off the building, and Izuku looks over the edge. Izuku, I'm sure he'll be fine, he says as he leaves the scene. As he left, we see Aizawa holding onto his scarf as it's tied around a pole. Aizawa, I need to call Hawks, he says as he pulls out his phone. Time skip. We see Izuku arrive at the docks. He is on top of a building and is watching a group of thugs. They seem to be making a deal with another group, which is perfect for Izuku. Izuku, two birds with one stone. He thinks to himself as he gets ready to interrupt their little meeting. Thug hashtag 1. Alright, so we got a deal? Thug hashtag 6. Yeah, it's a deal, he says as he goes to shake his hand. But before they could finish their deal, Izuku interrupts it as he lands on one of the thugs. Thug hashtag 3. F you're heavy, he says before Izuku stomps on his head, knocking him out. Thug hashtag 1. Kill this mother F-er, he says as he forms a gun in his hand. One of them runs at Izuku as their arms turn into blades. The thug slashes at Izuku, but he dodges the blades. Thug hashtag 5. Hold still, damn it, he says as he slashes down at Izuku. Izuku catches the blades and breaks it off with the blade in his gauntlet. The thug screams in pain as he holds his missing arm. Izuku kicks the guy's leg and it bends backwards, snapping in half. He falls to the floor, and two other thugs go at Izuku. One of them has their skin turn to metal and goes to throw a punch at Izuku. Izuku catches the fist and slams him onto the bladed thug. The other one runs at Izuku and jumps on his back. He grabs his head and tries to burn Izuku's head. But Izuku grabs the thug's arm and breaks it over his shoulder. The thug falls off of his back and holds his broken arm. Another charges at Izuku, but Izuku turns around and throws the blade he broke off of the thug into the thug's knee. The thug falls over and lands on his knee, pushing the blade further in. The thug made of metal gets back up and goes to punch Izuku in the back of the butt. Izuku avoids it by ducking under the punch and chokeslams the thug onto the thug with a broken arm. Another thug pulls a gun out and shoots at Izuku, but his aim is as bad as a stormtrooper. Izuku walks up to the thug and takes the gun out of his hand and smacks the SHD out of him with it. The other two thugs rush at Izuku, and the thug made of metal gets back up. Izuku charges at the two thugs as one of them shoots at Izuku. As Izuku is running at them, the bullets bounce off of his armor and he clotheslines the shooter. The other thug pulls a pipe out of nowhere and hits Izuku's head. He is barely affected by it, and Izuku looks towards the thug with the pipe. The thug swings at Izuku again, but he catches the pipe. He takes the pipe out of the thug's hand and swings at his leg. The thug falls to the floor and holds his knee in pain. As the thug is on the floor, the one made of metal runs at Izuku and throws a punch at Izuku. Izuku dodges to the side and hits the thug in the face with the pipe, causing the thug to fall back. The shooter gets back up and tries to run away, but Izuku notices him. He throws the pipe at the thug, hitting him in the back and knocking him out. Izuku notices the thug that made the pipe getting up. The thug faces Izuku as they are the last thug up. Thug hashtag 6, you, FBSDRD. He shouts as he charges at Izuku with a bat. The thug swings at Izuku, but his attacks do nothing to Izuku. The thug then throws one mighty swing at Izuku, and it breaks in half. Thug hashtag 6F, he says as he sees Izuku walking towards him. With one last attempt to hurt Izuku, he throws the broken bat at Izuku's face, and it bounces off. Izuku runs up to the thug and stomps on his leg, breaking it. The thug falls to the floor holding his broken leg and looks up to Izuku. Thug hashtag 6, W what are you? Izuku doesn't say anything as he stomps on the thug's head, knocking him out. The fight is over and Izuku takes a deep breath to replace, but as he thought the fight was over. Thug hashtag 7, RAGH. The thug made of metal tackles Izuku in toddy floor and start to throw a flurry of punches at Izuku. Izuku blocks most of his attacks, but one as the thug hits Izuku in the face, slightly cracking the eyeglass. Izuku is done with his SHD as he catches the thug's fist. He punches the thug in the face, pushing the thug off of him a bit. As he has some room, Izuku kicks the thug in the chest, pushing the thug onto the floor. Izuku gets up and is frustrated as hell. He grabs the thug by their shirt and lifts him up onto his feet. Once he's got him standing up, he starts to beat the CRP out of him. Once Isuku is down, he throws the thug away and looks around, making sure the fight is actually over. Isuku, piece of SHD. He thinks to himself as he walks over to the drags. He sees the drags sitting in the trunk of a car. Isuku pulls a small device out and pushes a button on it. He throws it in the trunk and closes it. As he walks away, it blows up, burning the drags along with the car. Isuku, now that that's done, I can go sleep now. He thinks to himself as he begins to leave the scene. But before he can leave, a feather flies by and sticks into the ground. Hawks, are we late for the party? He says as he flies down holding Aizawa. Both of the heroes notice the beat-up thugs and the car that's on fire. Hawks, DMN, you beat the CRP out of these guys. He says as he checks on the thugs. Izuku, what do you want? He says as looks towards the hero. Izuku, if you want to fight again, I won't hesitate to kill you. He says as he is about to pull his shotgun out. Hawks, whoa, wait. We don't want to fight. He says as he puts his hands in the air. Hawks, we just want to talk. As he says this, Izuku has his guard up still, but is willing to listen. Izuku, what do you want then? Aizawa, we want to give you a choice. He says as he walks up to Izuku. Aizawa, we notice that everyone you've taken down were not innocent. Hawks, yeah, especially Endeavor for what he did to his family. Izuku, you know what Endeavor did? He asks Hawks. Hawks, yeah, at first I wanted to find you and figure out why you killed Endeavor, but I found out when I asked the Todorokis. Izuku, I see. He says as he lowers his guard. Aizawa, we know you have good intentions for what you're doing, but this isn't the right way. Hawks, so we want to give you a chance to be a hero along with us. Izuku, a hero. Aizawa, yes. With the approval of Nizu, we could put you in rehabilitation, and you can join UA as a hero. Hawks, so what's it gonna be? He asks Izuku. Izuku, I gave up trying to be a hero a long time ago, but I'll have to think about it. Hawks, that's fine, we can wait. Aizawa, let us know when you've made up your mind. He says as he gives Izuku a piece of paper with his number on it. Aizawa, call me once you've made up your mind. Izuku, I will. He says as he runs off. Hawks, question, isn't he a little too old to be a student? Aizawa, if you were listening to his profile, you would have known he's 16. Hawks, wait, you're saying we got our butts kicked by a 16-year-old? Aizawa, yes. Hawks, DMN. Aizawa, and he's quirkless. Hawks, now I just feel embarrassed. Aizawa, whatever. Let's tie these criminals up. He says as he walks over to them. Hawks, all right. He says as he runs over to Aizawa. Hawks, you know, I think he's going to be fun to be around. Aizawa, we'll see. Time skip. We see Izuku sitting on the couch with Eri watching TV. He's trying to stay up, but is very tired. Eri notices this and is worried. Eri, what's wrong, Papa? Izuku, I'm fine, Eri, just I'm tired. He says as he rubs his eyes. Izuku, what about you? Are you tired? Eri, a little bit. She says as she rubs her eyes. Izuku, all right then. I guess we should get some sleep then. He says as he turns off the TV. He gets off the couch and picks Eri up in his arms. Izuku, does that sound nice? Eri, she says as she lays her head on Izuku's chest. He slightly smiles as he pets her head. He goes to his room, and once he does, he closes the door behind him and turns off the lights. He gets in bed with Eri and covers themselves in the blanket. Izuku, good night, snowflake. Eri, good night, Papa. And Izuku falls asleep with Eri sleeping on his chest. Thank you for joining us on this journey through What If Deku Became Doomslayer? We hope you found it as captivating as we did. A big thank you to Tip Top 5 for creating such an engaging story. Don't forget to visit their profile on Wattpad for more fantastic works. The link is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Zen and Fanfics for more intriguing explorations into fanfiction and fantasy. Your support helps us create more content like this, and we love hearing your thoughts and suggestions in the comments section. See you soon in the next video.